The beat of football is strong in the state of Georgia. Two schools that represent the rich history of Atlanta. Clark Atlanta University and Morehouse College. Linked in education, but tonight divided in the search of gridiron supremacy. Bounce. Football our way. And good evening. You see the Morehouse marching band, the cheerleaders for Clark Atlanta. We're ready for football here in the crown jewel of the South, Atlanta, Georgia. As the tailgating continues, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse College, the battle in the front yard of Atlanta. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bounce TV's presentation of the SIAC. For the next month and a half, we'll bring you the best football in HBCU. When you think about it, a lot of teams have rivalries, but nothing quite like this. Joining me now, Ryan Stewart, longtime NFL and former Georgia Tech defensive back. You've played in rivalries. How big is it when you go against a team that's so close to you?
It's kind of funny because you've got a team or two teams that are very familiar with each other because they hang out on campus, they share classes, but tonight they're battling for the bragging rights of the yard. Should be an interesting game.
For the homestanding Morehouse College, they have sort of a situation at quarterback. Two guys who were adversaries in high school, but now they join together and try to get Morehouse back on the winning track.
And the coach is going to do his best opportunity or make his best way to make sure that these guys have the best guy on the football field. You're talking about two quarterbacks and Joshua Harris. He's played 4 games, and due to an injury, we got to see Monquavius Johnson. Not that often you get to see a freshman take the field, but Monquavius is the reason why they found their first victory last week. Two dynamic quarterbacks.
When you think about Clark Atlanta, they have a brand new head coach in Kevin Weston, bringing in a brand new offense and an even newer quarterback in true freshman Trent Earl.
It's going to be funny to see two freshmen on the football field, but Trent Earl is a running back at heart, and coach knows that, and that's why he's got him running that wing T. He wants his athletes on the field, and Trent Earl gives him the opportunity to have another running back at the quarterback position, but he can still throw the football. You see a freshman very rarely get a chance to start, but he is the reason why coach thinks they can get their first victory tonight.
Their offense is very young, but the defense is what's kept them in ball games all season, led by their preseason all-conference selection, Brainard Williams.
The heart and soul of this defense. He is the leader, and they will follow him because he knows what he's doing. He leads the SIAC in tackles right now, getting right around 11 a game. He's small in stature, James, but his heart is big, and he plays like he's a big guy.
Bragging rights and also standing in the SIAC because they're trying to make it to the SIAC championship game in November. When we come back, Bounce TV brings you SIAC football. Welcome back to HBCU football on Bounce. 3-0 lead, Morehouse over Clark Atlanta. For the first-year head coach Kevin Weston, this is his first time in the rivalry between Clark Atlanta and Morehouse, but moreover, a first-year head coach taking over a program that has been years upon years with losing seasons. With more on why Coach Weston took the job, let's go down to our sideline reporter, Nisha Butler. Nisha?
Thanks, guys. As I spoke to Coach Weston, he, and I quote, felt that Clark University's football program was a hidden gem. He felt that Georgia is a great football state, and he had extreme access to the great talent here who wanted to stay home. And of course, what better city to play football other than Atlanta?
Thanks a lot, Nisha. This is one of the crown jewels when you think nationally of high school recruiting for college football. Ryan, this is one of the best places if you want to find talent.
Well, you know, I agree because I went to school right down the street of Georgia Tech, but Coach Weston is set to make sure he puts the Atlanta back into the CUA campus, and he's very excited about doing his job.
And one of the upbacks for Clark Atlanta will take the run, and he has some room to run. Great job out to about the 40-yard line. Number 29, Isaac Turner, on the reception, 28-yard gain.
The crowd thought there was a ball that was put on the field, but it wasn't. That was a very good job of his blockers just now, making a lane for the return man, and he read his blocks extremely well. Look at those guys just holding that block all the way down to the ground.
Looks like he did he go down? Yes. Brown cannot cause the fumble. He was down because the ball hit the ground first.
He ran that ball into his teammate, and that's probably what jarred the ball out when he made contact with the ground.
Once again in the wing T, Clark Atlanta Going to give to Taylor, breaks the line of scrimmage, and may have gotten 1 yard. They'll call it 2 yards. A mass of maroon jerseys as Clark Atlanta with their white helmets and maroon led by Lance White.
Something Coach Freeman talks about is making sure that all of his men run to the football, and they've done a good job of that so far today.
Second down, and you hear the crowd a little quiet because they're playing here at B.T. Harvey Stadium in Morehouse, and Clark Atlanta has come out and done a very good job for a winless team. Good run once again by Clark Atlanta. And Clarence Christian on the tackle. Aaron Haywood, one of the backup slot receivers, on the carry.
You see quite a few guys touch the ball for this Clark Atlanta offense. Very good misdirection play. Had the defense confused for a little while, but the secondary stayed at home.
Going to bring up a 3rd down and 4. They're close to midfield. It's one of the throwback offenses, Ryan. A lot of people haven't seen the wing T in a while.
Coach Weston believes on putting his best players on the offense, and he's got 4 running backs that he believes in, and that's why he runs this wing T.
It's a ground game, 3-yard gain from Montavious Taylor. Lance White once again on the tackle. This will bring up a 4th and short, and this is what Coach Weston wants to see for his Panthers. A lot of short yardage where they can go to their strength, which is running the football.
Yes, he believes that he can always get 2 to 3 yards on every single carry, and when you're running offense like this with so many different movements in the backfield, sometimes the defense will fall asleep, and it allows that big play to happen.
And flag, it looks like it may go against Clark Atlanta.
Guys are still excited, James. The adrenaline's pumping and flowing, blood's flowing through their bodies, and jumped the gun just a little bit prior to the snap.
And now, instead of a flag, they will call timeout. Morehouse. They obviously did not like what they saw. Deep offensively coming from Kevin Weston, they may have not been in the scheme to defend that wing T offense the proper way.
And they're waving the flag off. There's no penalty on the play. You got a young team, things like that happen from time to time, so it's good to burn a timeout to make sure that everybody's on the same page and in the right position.
Now, if you're the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse, Ryan, what do you want to do on a 4th and short?
You want to do the best that you can to make sure that your offensive line lowers that pad level and drives that defense off from the ball. And they've been running the ball into the interior line so far, so I think they'll do a good job, or try, on this 4th and short to push it right up the middle.
All right, both teams are trying to make it to the SIAC Championship. It's a battle for the throne. The 2013 SIAC Football Championship is Saturday, November 16th at 7 p.m. at Lakewood Stadium in Atlanta. Experience the excitement as the champions of the East and West Divisions meet to kick off the 100th anniversary of the SIAC. Purchase your tickets in advance. For more information on the SIAC Championship events, visit thesiac.com. Buy your tickets now. And if you can't buy a ticket, if you're a little bit too far away, you can watch it right here on Bounce TV our way.
Thank you, Bounce. Some people can't make that road trip, James. Bounce is going to bring it to their homes.
So far, Clark is 3 of 7 on 4th down conversions. They'll go for it. They'll give it to Battles, and he breaks through enough for the 1st down. Good job by Bradley Battles, the young man transfer from USF, University of South Florida. Thaddeus Shaw on the tackle.
Watch the vision of Bradley Battles here. This play is designed to go right inside that tackle, but he sees the opening outside and bounces it outside to get the 1st down. Good vision by the running back.
1st and 10. Inside the Maroon Tiger territory. Last time this happened, they had a fumble, and Maroon Tigers recovered. A pass, reception, catch made, knocked out of bounds. Close enough to another 1st down, maybe a yard short. Jordan Dooley on the reception. Joshua Anderson knocks him out of bounds, 9-yard gain for the Panthers.
So everyone's saying how much Clark Atlanta runs the football 99% of the time. Here we are in the middle of the 1st quarter, and we've seen 2 pass plays that were wide open for Clark Atlanta. Trent Earl's doing a good job of staying calm in the pocket and completing those passes.
The young quarterback, a true freshman from Stockbridge High School just south of Atlanta, Georgia. Coach
Weston really likes his freshman quarterback. It's like he's lit a spark into the entire team, and they're following him in his young leadership.
2nd and 1. Give to Battles, and he bores his way forward for another first down for Clark Atlanta. Lance White once again on the tackle for Morehouse. First down, Clark Atlanta, and they're driving. They're driving again, James, and that's something that they hadn't had a lot of success with when it comes to scoring in the first half of ball games. They're only averaging 7 points per game, but right now they look like they're doing a good job of sustaining a drive. And for Clark Atlanta, this is the type of drive that they want to see, grinding it out and getting some positive passes. They're going to give to Taylor, and once again, the wingback able to get positive yards inside the 30-yard line for a 4-yard gain. Montavious saw a little vision to the right and took it where he saw the daylight. You see the Clark Atlanta keys to the game, and Ryan executing on offense. They're doing it right now. They're doing a good job, and when you execute on offense and you keep getting first downs and you don't put the ball on the ground, it allows you to control the clock and keep your offense on the field, keeping their offense off of the field. 8th play of the drive. Give to Battles. He has a huge hole, able to get enough for the first down. If it wasn't for safety help, he may have gotten 6. 8 yards on the game. Very good job by Bradley Battles. Once he got through the initial hole, continuing to drive his feet and run extremely hard. And we have a player down for Morehouse, but you see Battles is showing why he was recruited by University of South Florida and was there until he graduated. Just broke a couple of arm tackles just now. He's a guy that you're going to have to put your shoulder pads on to get him down, get your head across the bow, because he's not going to come down with arm tackles. And we have a player down. We'll take it to break. When we come back, we'll see if Clark Atlanta can punch it in as they trail 3-0 SIAC Game of the Week right here on Bounce.
When it comes to your smile, all stains are not created equal. A cup of coffee means surface stains. A cup a day for a decade? Deep set-in stains. Crest 3D.
Welcome back to HBCU football on Bounce. SIAC games at its best. Morehouse College with a 3-0 lead, but Clark Atlanta driving, and we have a flag after they take an injured player off the field to stop the clock with 5:54 left to play in the first. Clark has done a very good job running the ball.
On your offense, number 54, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Sorry about that, James. Running the ball 7 times, passing it 1 time on this drive, and you want that consistency to keep on for your offense to get comfortable on the football field. And Jacob Mitchell definitely wants to get that jump, but he's just a freshman, 6'2", 225 for Clark Atlanta. And Kyle Pogue, he walked off the field, but he is getting his shoe tied. Most likely had to get that ankle retaped, and he should be back out there as one of the reserve linebackers for Morehouse. First down and 15 from the Morehouse 25. They're going to give it to Taylor, and Taylor bores his way, gets all of the yardage back, plus some inside the 20 down to the 14, 11-yard gain. That's where the wing T is dangerous, because you don't know who has the ball. A very nice run as you see him go through the line of scrimmage extremely hard and dancing around in the backfield just a little bit until he found daylight. He made 3 or 4 guys miss just now, and that's what you've got to do to keep this drive going. Very exciting run for just 11 yards. See his numbers, not a lot of yards per game, but they're getting positive yards tonight. Once again, they give to Taylor, and he's able to get to the outside, gets a little bit more, breaks 1 tackle, down inside the 5-yard line. Montavious Taylor, the freshman from Atlanta, Georgia's Carver High School, showing up big. 5'7", 179 pounds, but he's running like he's 220 pounds, James. Making sure that he's not going down by arm tackles. You've got to get a hand on him and breaking those tackles, keeping his legs moving. A lot of juke and a lot of dance with this run as well. That's a very good first down. And on his 2 runs, he already has 22 yards rushing just on this drive alone. First and goal for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. They're trying to break a 4-game losing streak to Morehouse Maroon Panthers. They give the Battles. He's a battering ram into the end zone. Touchdown, Clark Atlanta. 5
5-yard touchdown run for Bradley Battles, his first touchdown of the season.
Outstanding run, showing the power, showing the strength. Even had to hit a little spin move to break a tackle just now, but it was not going to be stopped from getting into the end zone.
And for the first time this season, Clark Atlanta has scored in the first half. We're seeing history in the making right here, HBCU football on Bounce.
And you can look at the sideline and see how excited everybody is, because Weston is pumped up as well. That's a very good drive that they established just now to get themselves on the board.
Austin Casillas, point after, is a success. And with 4:27 left to play, Clark Atlanta trying to break a 4-game losing streak to Morehouse, with Bradley Battles being the battering ram. Clark Atlanta has a 7-3 lead. HBCU football right here on Bounce.
I'm Russell Simmons. If you're fed up with high bank and check cashing fees, join the Rush Card Revolution.
With the prepaid Visa Rush Card, you can deposit your pay or benefits directly to your card and get instant access to your money. And you can get your paycheck deposited on your Rush Card and available to you up to 2 days before.
Coach Freeman wants them to make sure he holds on to the football. You can't keep putting that ball on the ground, but again, he was down.
And now Morehouse College has to work themselves out of a hole, because the upstart Clark Atlanta Panthers haven't had a win all season, but for the first time this season, they scored in the first half. They're sending a message, and now we'll see what Joshua Harris and company can match. He'll give to Hamilton, and Hamilton is met immediately, brought down at the line of scrimmage, number 49, Brainard Williams, one of the leading tacklers in the SIAC.
Seen a very excited Clark Atlanta football team. They get a huge red zone stop, only giving up 3. They get their first touchdown in the first half of the season with their last offensive drive, and now they're doing a good job of making sure that Morehouse doesn't get any excessive yardage on their carries.
They gain 1, 2nd and 9. Harris looking to throw. He's going to throw long, looking for a receiver, but knocked out of the way. Good open field defense by number 14, Alex Morrow, able to make the bet.
Made a good play just now on the ball. If he would have thrown it just a tad bit shorter, he might still be running for the end zone right now, but the ball a tad bit too far.
And he plays the nitro position, really more of a strong safety, but they call him Nitro in the defense by Kevin Weston.
Good coverage.
3rd down and long. They're going to go with 4 wide receivers. Harris looking to throw. He may have some room to run, and does decide to run, breaks the line of scrimmage, but goes nowhere fast. Good defense by Clark Atlanta. Once again, there's Brainard Williams on the tackle.
Brainard Williams is a guy that is going to make sure he's in a position to make plays. Drop back in pass coverage just now, but saw in his progression he had no man, kept an eye on the quarterback, and when he decided to run, he came up and made the stop.
2nd 3 and out for Morehouse. That's not what you want to see from one of the best offenses in the SIAC. Timoteo Agoro back to punt. He wasn't scheduled to punt, but he's gutting it out, dealing with an ankle injury. Nice long punt. Blair fumbles once again, and right there, Morehouse, there's a scrum for the football. Morehouse is saying that they have it. And right now, they're all trying to grab that football. A few Clark players are saying they have it, and once again, number 4 for Clark Atlanta, Trevius Blair, fumbles. And this is not what you want to see. Last time he was able to recover.
Right.
This time, once again, he gets good ball karma on that play, because Clark Atlanta gets it.
And there was a battle at the end of that pile just now to get that ball.
And he never got 2 hands on it.
Yep, he's just trying to do too much right now. The first thing as a punt returner and a kick specialist, period, is to make sure that you secure the kick before you do anything. And his body is not even in a good position to catch that ball in the air. He needs to get those shoulders square, get his feet underneath him to make sure he feels that ball properly.
1st and 10 from about the 34-yard line. Bradley Battles breaks the line of scrimmage. He has become the battering ram tonight for Clark Atlanta.
Playing with an injury, and I am really impressed with his effort right now with what he's doing for this football team.
4 yards on the carry. Number 1, young man graduated from University of South Florida, had another year of eligibility, and chose to come to Clark Atlanta, and he has become a leader. 5th-year senior, able to become a leader for a very young Clark Atlanta team.
Not just in the locker room leading these young guys, but also on the field. averaging right around 68 yards per game, the leading rusher on this ball club.
Montavious Taylor, the wingback, goes nowhere fast to bring up a third and call it 8 yards for the first. Joshua Burton on the tackle.
A lot of misdirection going on right now with Coach Weston's offense, and that's something that the wing T will provide for you. Your defense has to make sure they stay at home, read their gaps, and keep an eye on the football. A lot of faking out there on the football field with this offense.
Trent Earl has done a masterful job of running the wing T offense. And they give to Battles, and this time Battles is met by a wall of Morehouse and number 45, Joshua Burton.
Joshua Burton stuffs him at the line of scrimmage. Good low pad level, and he didn't fall for the fake, came straight upfield. If he would have had his pad level lowered just a tad bit, he could have jarred that ball out.
And for the first time, Clark Atlanta 3 and out. You see Joshua Burton's season stats. Still a young year, but this guy is definitely making an impact.
He's a big player for this team.
Back deep for Morehouse is Thomas Williams. Casillas does all of the kicking for Clark Atlanta. Austin Casillas to kick, almost got it blocked, and this one looks like it's going to go out of bounds. Positive for Morehouse, depends on where they will spot the football, and it looks like they'll spot it at about the 37-yard line, and that's where the Maroon Tiger offense will take over. Only a 25-yard punt, and now we'll see if the Maroon Tiger offense can really get on track.
Very good field position for the Maroon Tigers when it comes to their offense. Your coach has to be a little upset with the 25-yard punt. You got to nail that punt and get that ball further down the football field.
And for Rich Freeman's team, they are trying to do their job by getting on the scoreboard with a score. They made a quarterback change coming in now. Monquavius Jordan, he missed last week due to an ankle injury, and now he gets his first opportunity to shine. He's going to throw the football, finds Brandon Sarton, and he's trying to break one tackle, breaks it, but not before he loses significant yardage. Josh Tate on the tackle, making a good open field play at the cornerback position.
Very good open field tackle, and it's harder than you would think. The sideline is your friend when you're trying to make a play like that, so you leverage that sideline as if it's a teammate of yours. Breaks the tackle, does a good job of getting off the block, and forces them out of bounds. Very good play.
Averick Walker right there to make the final push to get him out of bounds. 2nd and long. Monquavius, a true freshman, throws, finds Sarton once again, and the bubble screen, more of a lack of bubble right there. No cushion there for Sarton. And Averick Walker once again right there on the tackle for Clark Atlanta, 6-yard gain.
Monquavius Johnson has come onto the football field, and he's thrown 2 passes. He's a guy that was expected to redshirt, but because of an ineligible player and because of an injury, he's found himself on the football field.
Staying with the no huddle, 3rd down and long. Getting some pressure, has some room to run, does, stretches it out, may have gotten close to a 1st down, depending on the spot. They may call him 1 yard short. Rashard Bryant on the tackle from the linebacker position for Clark Atlanta.
James, I like how Johnson is poised and calm in the pocket just now. There was a slight rush approaching him, but he continued to look down the field, read through his progressions, and when everyone was covered up, he took that ball in and ran for as much yards as he could, almost getting the 1st down.
And Rich Freeman is definitely looking for his Maroon Tigers to get the offense started. Agoro back to punt for Morehouse. Gets it up, a good punt. Kane will fair catch, and he will get it at about the 16-yard line with 11 seconds, call it 10 seconds, left in the 1st quarter. 39-yard punt for Amateo Agoro, one of the best punters in the SIAC, and Kane does a good job there.
Exactly.
Just holding the ball.
That's what I'm talking about, James. As a punt returner, the first thing you have to do is make sure that your body is positioned properly under the football. If you're leaning or sticking your arms out to try to catch the punt, bad things will happen. Make sure you have good body position to field those punts. Kane did a good job.
This may be the worst field position Clark Atlanta has had the entire 1st quarter, as they have a 7-3 lead. Earl gives once again to Taylor. Taylor getting some look like positive yards, but right there, the Maroon Tigers, number 97, Clarence Christian, making a big play. He has made his presence felt early in this game from the defensive end position.
And Clark's doing a good job of establishing the ground game because that's something that they do.
And we have come to the end of the first quarter, and in the front yard brawl, Clark Atlanta University's defense has stepped up big to stymie the Maroon Tigers, and battles with a battering ram gives the Panthers a 7-3 lead right here on Pounce. And the cheerleaders for Morehouse College, and it's an all-boys school, but they grabbed their cheerleaders from Spelman College, Ryan.
That's not a bad move because I used to spend some time over there. Good cheerleaders to have.
We start the second quarter, HBCU football right here on Bounce. 7-3 lead. The winless Clark Atlanta Panthers looking for their first win, and their first win in the last 4 tries against homestanding Morehouse. Trent Earl with a nice throw and catch, the battles, and a huge hit. And it looks like the defender got the worst end of that play.
What an incredible play just now by the defense to come up and lower his shoulder and make an incredible open field tackle.
And Joshua Thurston, number 4, by rule, he should have to leave the field because his helmet came off.
I think the ref just went and told him that. You got to step off, son. Very nice play. Actually jarred the ball loose. Thurston, slight in size, but not afraid to stick his head in there and make a play.
And I know he's upset, but he has to go to the side. Just 5'7", 165 pounds. They're going to give to Montavious Taylor. He scoots, but is met by a wall of Maroon. Nice big play by the Tigers. Number 14, Austin Bitton, playing the defensive back position, coming up playing big.
Very good job by Bitton just now, coming up the field, establishing low pad level, and just staying with the play. After not initially making the tackle because of a juke move by Montavious, he stayed with the play and ultimately made the tackle for a loss.
All the positives from Trent Earl's pass to battles, the negative now by Morehouse defense. 2nd and 10. And movement, and it looks like now Morehouse is going to give all those yardage back. Come on.
Take it back. A little skirmish on the field right now.
And remember, this is a rivalry, and we have a flag thrown because obviously someone did not like what someone else said, and a flag is thrown. Remember, they share libraries, they go to class together, they are 500 yards apart. That's how intense this over 80-year rivalry is between Morehouse and Clark Atlanta.
I don't care how cool they are on campus while classes are going on, they are enemies on the football field tonight.
And you see Coach Weston talking to his young freshman quarterback, Kevin, Trent Earl, and he's trying to let Earl know, you're the quarterback. Right. You're not supposed to be, but, you know, a lot of people are getting Johnny Manziel-ish and trying to show their bravado from that position.
Got to keep it cool, guys. You got to keep it cool.
We got 2 fouls on the play. We got an encroachment on your defense, live ball foul, 5-yard penalty, and we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike on your offense.
And let's take a look at what happens on the play. You see Trent Earl, and that wasn't a hard throw, but you never know. You're not supposed to.
You can't throw the football at another player, especially on the opposition. You cannot do that.
And it could have all been squashed if he wouldn't have flipped the ball forward.
Just hold on to the ball or drop the ball on the ground. You got to get him with the play. You can't get him with actions after the whistle. Everything has to be done between the whistles so it doesn't set your ball club back. You find yourselves now 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage, 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And a costly penalty for Kevin Weston's team, and he always talks about discipline and trying to trust and believe in the system. And I know part of his system is not getting their 3rd penalty of the game so far tonight.
I couldn't agree more.
2nd down and 20. Battles. Once again, the battering ram for the Panthers. Fumble. Morehouse has the football. 1st and goal for the Maroon Tigers. Big play by Mitchell DeWolf from Buford, Georgia. The big guy, 5'11", 285 senior, makes a big play.
He just stayed with the play just now while the running back was trying to get up the field. He took the ball from him. He took the ball away from him. Very good heads-up play by the Maroon Tigers.
Battles is hit, the ball goes awry, and yes, Mr. DeWalt, just like a ratchet, able to scoop it up.
Scoop and score. Tried to scoop
and move it the other way.
And he also tried to take out his quarterback. Tried to take the quarterback out also during the play. You get a chance to get a shot on that quarterback, whether you got the ball or not. You got to drop your helmet and lower it on him.
First and goal for Morehouse. Montravius Johnson didn't get the start, but the true freshman is playing. They give to Hamilton. Hamilton has some room to run inside the 5. Touchdown, Maroon Tigers. 9 yards for Shelton Hamilton. Check that. That's TJ Williams.
Did a good job of finding daylight. Bounced it outside. Used a little stiff arm right there. A little shimmy. Lowered his shoulders and got into the end zone. Good job by Thomas Williams, the senior running back. And believe it or not, Morehouse needed that score badly.
And it'll be an infraction against Morehouse.
We got a legal substitution on your kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
And now this point after attempt looks more like a field goal than a point after. And you see Rich Freeman is not necessarily happy because they practiced special teams. We went out to their walkthrough, and that was one of the big things that they practiced. And you see the Morehouse faithful right there happy to see a score, but now they need the point after attempt to give them a 3-point lead.
Yesterday at the walkthrough, Coach Freeman did an outstanding job of over-communicating with his team during special teams. So, of course, he's a little upset that they just had that infraction.
Hector Solis makes it 14 out of 15. Point after attempt is good, and TJ Williams with the score. HBCU football right here on Bounce. Tonight's game is brought to you by Gillette. Sensitive skin demands precision equipment. Fusion Pro Glide is Gillette's #1 razor on sensitive skin. And by Toyota, introducing the all-new 2014 next generation Corolla. Toyota, let's go places. And 10-7 is your score. HBCU football right here on Bounce. TJ Williams is right there with the short score. I'm joined now by Dr. Carlton Brown, the president of Clark Atlanta, and so far so good for your very young team.
No, so far not so good for my very young team.
Well, they did score in the first half.
They did score in the first half.
But you're looking for bigger and better things?
Well, I'm looking for some better discipline. I'm looking for some more control. That's the difference here right now.
Okay, let's talk about the university. What is the latest and greatest that's going on campus?
Well, we have a huge number of things going on campus. As you may or may not know, we're involved in developing the community in Atlanta around our campuses, along with Morehouse and Spelman. We just put in place 2 brand new honor societies. One of them is the first of its kind at a private historically black college, and it is the most prestigious of the honor societies in this country, and we're one of the few institutions that qualify for this society, so we've done that. We're continuing to build our sustainability efforts. As you know, we're a graduate research institution, and our cancer center over this past year landed 5 new discoveries leading to 3 patents. We're beginning to talk about the relocation and expansion of the center. They've outgrown their space. We've begun to move more internationally with new students coming in from Saudi Arabia, Brazil, and Liberia, and several other locations. So we're moving on a number of fronts.
Now, I've talked to head coach Kevin Weston, and he says that you are somewhat of a hands-on president when you like to check in on him from time to time and just say hello.
I do. I like to say hello. I like to share my thoughts. I like to encourage people. I like to help them focus on the institution's mission and its values, because for me, that has to sit at the core of our athletics program. And when it does, we succeed.
All right. Thank you so very much. Good luck to Clark Atlanta. It's an old tradition, but relatively a new school.
Relatively new school. As you know, we were the first liberal arts institution in the HBCU community. We were the first graduate institution. And as of 1988, we were the first independent graduate research institution in the HBCU community.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dr. Carlton Brown, since 2008 at the helm at Clark Atlanta University. Thank you.
Thank you.
Get back to football, Ryan. And now we're looking at a 4th down situation.
Montavious Taylor has done a very good job of hitting the holes, but he just can't quite break through because the Maroon Tigers are doing a good job of making good stops.
And Dr. Carlton Brown, I was trying to keep it positive, but he definitely wants to see better discipline from his young ball club.
Coach Weston was telling us he's a keep it real kind of guy, James. So, yeah, it was positive that they finally scored early, but his team is down right now, and he wasn't going to have it any other way.
Wasn't going to sugarcoat it.
Wasn't going to sugarcoat it.
Punting situation for Clark Atlanta. Flag is thrown. Return for Morehouse, and this may all be coming back because the flag is thrown. T.J. Williams on the return, 34 yards on the punt, Joshua Tate on the tackle.
Both coaches are going to be having a strong emphasis on having better control on the football field. A lot of penalties on both teams' behalf.
We got outside on your offense, defense. Huh? 5-yard penalty. Run up, 1st down.
And Morehouse once again shoots itself in the foot. Instead of having the ball, now you see Coach Richmond, he is not happy at all, and he's trying to let his guys know you're not supposed to move until the ball is moved.
That's something you can't do. You're about to get the ball back in the hands of your offense, and defensively on a punt situation, you jump off sides. You can't do it.
And now instead of being on defense, Clark Atlanta has 1st and 10 at their own 41. Montavious Taylor on the carry, able to get some positive yards, 4, possibly 5. Clarence Christian on the tackle for Morehouse.
Last year at Carver, Atlanta, Montavious ran for over 2,000 yards. Not a lot of people can say that they've done that. And we're seeing how elusive he is right now when he gets the ball in his hands.
Just a true freshman at 5'7", 179 pounds, playing the wingback. Coach Weston says as soon as he can gain some more weight and strength, he will definitely be a danger in the conference. Trent Earl looking to throw, finds a receiver, catch is made, 1st and 10 for Clark Atlanta inside Morehouse territory. Jordan Dooley playing that slot position. Joshua Thurston with a touchdown saving tackle for Morehouse along with Jamil Irvin Muhammad.
Very good job by Jordan Dooley just now. They thought it was a run. He releases out, gets down the field, and secures a nice catch. For a team that runs the ball a lot, Clark Atlanta's having success throwing it so far tonight.
And from that slot position, Jordan Dooley on the carry, but he loses 1, possibly 2 yards, Richard Sanyers. And you see the pass yards for the season, only 32. Tonight, 48. Incredible for Clark Atlanta throwing the football, because when you watch their game tape, they don't throw it very often. But tonight, they found a hole in Morehouse's defense, able to get some positive yards, but now they're looking at 2nd and long.
Very good job.
And they're going to give once again to Montavious Taylor. Flag is thrown. He has some room to run into the end zone, but a flag at the 30-yard line, 34 yards on the carry. If it holds, it's a touchdown, but it may be all coming back. Looks like a hold.
Montavious Taylor read that block so good on the upside the field just now.
Hold against Clark Atlanta, and sometimes those holds are so big because somebody's holding the defender back.
51 on your offense. 10-yard penalty, previous spot.
Evans Joseph just now a little bit too happy with his hands. There he goes right there. Yeah, he reached and got him. He reached and got him. And sometimes when the hold takes place, you say, oh, he didn't even have to do that, but the play wouldn't have been as successful if it wasn't for that hold just now.
And Coach Weston does not like to see a lot of penalties. Right now they're at 60 yards in penalties. And a touchdown taken off the board. Trent Earl looking to throw, looking for Dooley, incomplete. Dooley may have heard footsteps in front of him.
I'm not going to say he had alligator arms, but he had crocodile arms. He didn't want to extend his body for that pass just now. I think that was a catchable ball, James.
Both alligator and crocodile, both are short, and he definitely said, oops, I don't want to see that white helmet hit me in the chest.
He didn't want it. Dooley didn't want that play just now. Ooh, that's going to be problems in next week's film session when the coaches see that. you got to sacrifice everything to get that football.
DJ Kane is the only wide receiver split out on the far side. And they're going to give once again to Montavious Taylor. He has been the hot wingback of note. He gains possibly 1 yard. Mitchell DeWalt on the tackle, which brings up a 4th and long. They need to get down really to about the 20-yard line of Morehouse. Chances, and looks like a punting situation for Austin Casillas.
He'll play the field possession game. Trust your punter to pin that ball inside the 20 and put your defense back out there and hope that they get the ball back before, too far late into the second quarter.
TJ Williams back deep inside his own. He's right at his 10. If it goes beyond that, I don't see him trying to get it. And they bump the kicker, no flag. Goes inside the 10, takes a positive Clark Atlanta bounce, and it's down at about the 2-yard line. A good pooch punt at 38 yards, no return. Timeout on the field, 9:32 left to play. When we come back, we'll see if Morehouse College can work themselves out of their own end zone in order to get another score on the board.
A hot, smelly car versus a Febreze car vent clip. Which comes out on top? We brought real people to the Texas desert to find out.
It's just nice. It's very crisp, cool, and fresh.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, fresh.
Back, a beautiful skyline shot of the city of Atlanta. Morehouse with a 3-point lead in the second quarter. Celebrities, fresh news, hot gossip. Bounce TV is breaking down what's up with an all-new original series. Don't miss the premiere of Breakdown, October 14th, only on Bounce TV.
Now, James, for a quarterback that doesn't throw the ball or a team that doesn't throw the ball, Trent Earl is 4 for 5 with 48 yards in the first half of this ball game.
And now we'll see if Monquavius Johnson can match that. He's had a couple of series able to lead his team to a score. Now working out of their own end zone, basically, number 21, Shelton Hamilton, able to get some positive yards. The young man from Montgomery, Alabama, sharing time with Thomas Williams, who already has a score.
Whenever you're so pinned back offensively, so close to the goal line, that first play is just a play to give you a little bit of room to be able to get deeper into your playbook.
Hamilton will stay in at the running back position. They're going to spread it out a little bit. Monquavius gives it to Hamilton again, and he gains possibly 3 yards. And right now, if you're Clark Atlanta, you just want to try to hold serve and try to keep them deep in their own end zone.
Exactly. You want to hold serve, keep them in their end zone, and give your offense better field position to try to make them punt. But offensively, the Maroon Tigers, they're in a situation where, just like in the red zone, you can't utilize all of your offensive playbook. It's the same down here because you don't have a lot of field to work with.
3rd and long. They're 0-3 on 3rd down conversions. Throw catch a little bit too hard for the intended receiver, and that was Lance McGuffey. And defending Isaac Turner, and McGuffey goes off the field hobbling a little bit, and now it'll be a punting situation for Morehouse.
McGuffey thought the defense got there early on that play just now, but I think the referees did a good job by sitting on the laundry and not throwing the yellow flag. That was a good play by the defense.
Timoteo Ogoro will kick back deep for Clark Atlanta. DJ Kane. Kane takes it at his own 45, and he hits the ground, but that whistle was sort of delayed. 45 yards on the punt by Ogoro. No return because he hit the ground.
Kane's mad he didn't get a return, but at the end of the day, the coach is happy that he just secured that catch. His hands were really far away from his body just now, so coach is happy that he was able to catch that punt.
And Coach Weston right now happy to see his team get a score in the first quarter, but now looking for more, especially in the discipline department. Trent Earl starting from his own 45. Looking to change the play. Give to Battles. Battles breaks the line of scrimmage. May have gained 2 yards on the play. Yeah, they'll call it 2. Brandre Conway in on the tackle.
Good job by Conway just now. Battles is a physical running back. He's not going down at first contact, so every defender that brings him down with first contact should be happy.
Earl gives the battle, has some room to run, didn't go to the near side of the field where he had open space, went for the contact, able to get about another 4 yards.
Seeing a good job of the Maroon Tigers flocking to the ball right now as a unit. Everyone's riding down the line of scrimmage and putting themselves in a position to make a play.
Brandon Key along with other Maroon jerseys right there to make the tackle. Brings up a third down call at 4. They're right at midfield, a hair into Morehouse territory. Clark Atlanta looking to get their first victory of the year. Looking to throw. Earl looking to pass for Kane. Finds Kane. Enough for the first down. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Joshua Thurston doing battle with DJ Kane.
Outstanding play just now on the rollout by Trent Earl, the quarterback, and he finds this guy out there wide open. Again, the Maroon Tigers are really overplaying the run because that's what CAU does. However, they've done a very effective job and they're being efficient at passing the ball today.
Earl once again back-to-back passes looking for Kane. A little bit too much for the guy who stands at 5'5", about 160 pounds soaking wet.
Again, Kane was wide open out there in the flash just now. Earl just couldn't get it to him because he was rolling out and couldn't get his feet set the proper way to deliver that pass. But Coach Weston's opened up his game book. He's opened up his mind to pass the ball. And that's something Coach Freeman talked to us about on yesterday.
I think being on bounce, HBCU on bounce, brought some of the best out of Coach. Taylor right there trying to elude one tackler. He does, able to work his way down to about a 7, make it 6-yard gain to bring up a third down situation. Yeah, Christopher Hamby on the tackle.
Coach Freeman was telling us on yesterday how, you know, this team and the offense that they run, they have the ability and the players to do a lot of different things. So he really didn't know what to expect coming into tonight's game.
So far tonight, 2 of 6 on third down conversions. Third down and 3. Send Taylor in motion, give the Battles. The battering ram has enough for the first down. Bradley Battles, he has a cracked bone in his foot, and he's not limping at all. You see his season stats tonight. He's almost to 100 yards rushing.
We saw him in a walking boot yesterday, and he's almost at 100 yards on tonight's ball game before the half. I'm impressed with his ability to run the ball so effectively.
Battles this time goes nowhere fast. A sea of Maroon jerseys, and so far Clark Atlanta has 10 first downs opposed to Morehouse with none, and the Maroon Tigers, Brian Thomas and company, able to stop them right now, but they haven't been able to stop this rushing attack of Clark Atlanta.
Clark has done a good job of running the ball, and they've thrown it so much that it's opening up the opportunity for them to continue to run the ball successfully.
Time of possession heavily in favor of the Panthers. Ball is loose. Ball is loose. Clark Atlanta able to recover, but the ball is still loose. Depends on who they say has the football when the whistle was blown.
Skirmish at the bottom of the pile trying to secure that football.
And once again, Mitchell DeWalt right there. He has a nose for the football.
Big man.
Evans Joseph on the recovery for Clark Atlanta. 15-yard loss. And Mr. DeWalt says, I want to get that football again. He already has a fumble recovery for positive yards for Morehouse College. He almost had another one.
He poked that ball out of Earl's hand just now.
Not bad for the young man from Buford, Georgia.
5'11", 285 pounds. He's what we call in the South a big un.
Yeah, big one. A bundle of fun. Third down, and they need to get to the 19-yard line for a first, but a flag is thrown.
Clark is slowly
allowing an opportunity to get away from them with very good field position, and they're not capitalizing.
The 5th penalty in the first half for Clark Atlanta. For all of the positives that we've seen, them scoring their first touchdown of the year in the first half, able to stymie a Morehouse offense only to give them 10 points, but penalties have definitely pushed them back.
3rd and 8 is definitely a tough situation for your ball club to be in.
3rd and forever. Taylor able to break the line of scrimmage, and he may have gained 1, possibly 2 yards to get back into Morehouse territory, but that 3rd and 28, Lance White for Morehouse able to shut the door, and it's a punting situation.
Correction, I said 3rd and 8. I meant 3rd and 28. It's virtually impossible for an offense to have a play in the playbook to get 28 yards.
Austin Casillas on the punt, and T.J. Williams back deep for Morehouse. And he will wave this one off for a fair catch, but it will take a Clark Atlanta bounce and down at about the 11-yard line. 3:24 left to play in the first half on the 38-yard punt by Austin Casillas. When we come back, we'll see if Morehouse can add to their 3-point lead right here on Bounce.
Chloe's the princess.
I don't throw hissy fit. You are throwing a hissy fit right now.
Brooke's the hot mess.
It's Saturday morning. I need my fat girl breakfast Saturday morning.
2 broke girls keeping it 100.
I went full on Jack Nicholson. Shine would pick a better face if I was you.
My crazy roommate, an all new original series premiering.
You get them on YouTube, Instagram.
Busch Gardens.
And a wonderful night for football here in Atlanta as Morehouse has a 3-point lead. Now, are you a fan of the SIAC? Wanted you to prove it by liking SIAC on Facebook. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter. Stay connected and gain an inside look with behind-the-scenes access with your favorite student athletes, programs, sports, and championships. Get all of your SIAC updates at thesiac.com. You can get them on YouTube, Instagram. They do all of the social media connections via electronic media.
The SIAC keeps you informed with what's going on within the conference and their teams through social media. Outstanding job.
And Morehouse looking to throw and incomplete. There was no one anywhere close to that pass. And they'll bring up a 2nd down. Monquavius Johnson, he turned his ankle just walking on the field and was unable to play against Edward Waters College. But now he's been able to really gut it out and come in reserve as Joshua Harris had the start. Nice running play, huge hole, able to get some positive yards. T.J. Williams, the young man from Knightdale, North Carolina, Alex Marlowe on the carry.
Anybody can get that many yards when you've got a hole big enough to drive a truck through it, and that's what happened with Thomas just now. He had an incredible hole to get through.
Their first down so far this game, and once again, number 23, T.J. Williams on the carry.
Morehouse trying to do a good job of establishing the run right now to keep Clark Atlanta on their heels defensively.
And with 2:50 and counting, Clark defense needs to get a stop. Change running backs. They bring in Hamilton. Hamilton, like a battering ram, able to get 1, possibly 2, but he was met quickly by number 7, Joshua Tate, who said hello with his helmet.
And Hamilton did a good job of dropping that shoulder to show Tate that he's got 235 pounds of mass coming through the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10, ball out to about the 33-yard line. They started deep in their own territory at about the 11. Now Johnson able to move his team into more breathing room. Looking to throw, has some time, gonna sling it, has a wide open receiver, almost, but incomplete. Intended for Lake McGuffey, but couldn't bring him in.
Clearly a breakdown in coverage by CAU just now. McGuffey has no business being that wide open by himself. You take a tad bit off that pass. He's still running right now to the end zone. We'll see that play again.
Redshirt freshman from McDonough, Georgia, and he really wanted that one. He knew that was 6.
You know, if you lay out for that ball, you might get the few inches that you need to get a catch.
Timeout call by Clark Atlanta. Obviously, Coach Weston is not happy when you see a person that wide open. And he's definitely coaching up the rest of his team, trying to let them know you're not supposed to come up. Play back. Play back.
In that situation right there, you'd rather the ball be underthrown than overthrown. Okay, you might not get a touchdown with the underthrown ball, but at least you've got a 30 to 40-yard gain on the pass play.
And all of you watching right here on Bounce, be sure to stay with us at halftime for the Toyota Battle of the Bands featuring Clark Atlanta University Mighty Marching Panther Band and the Morehouse House of Funk Marching Band. Highly entertaining and world-class performances. Don't miss the Toyota Battle of the Bands at halftime. You know, I gotta say, House of Funk. Most of these young people don't know what funk is.
They have no idea, James.
House of Funk.
I get excited about that just now, James.
I'm a fan of the funk.
I know you are.
Yes.
I know you are.
I'm a fan of the funk. One Nation Under a Groove, baby. That's right. Okay, well, let's work on that in your other job. I'm on the field. It's okay. Morehouse offense so far tonight, only 2 first downs, 4 punts, 5 3-and-outs, a total of 54 yards, but they have a 10-7 lead due to turnovers by Clark Atlanta and strong defense by the Maroon Tigers. Johnson looking to throw, has plenty of time. He's going to sling it again, has someone wide open, and once again overthrows his receiver intended for number 18, Donald Cox, and oh no. That's what happens when you have a true freshman. It's just a matter of making the touch pass.
Off the fingertips for a second play in a row. And that one right. Oh, my gosh.
Isn't there such thing as being too open?
Yeah, clearly you're too open right there. But here again, when the ball's on your fingertips like that, if you're willing to sacrifice your body and lay out, you'll probably secure the catch.
Monquavius Johnson so far 0 for 3 on this drive, throwing the football 3rd and 10.
Clark's secondary has to wake up that game.
Has plenty of time, getting some pressure on the backside, makes a throw and catch. Finally enough for the first down. Catch made by Lake McGuffey. Ball is loose. And there's a scrum for the football. Clark Atlanta saying that they have it.
Sometimes, James, after you've got a positive play like that, after a couple of drops, be happy with catching the ball, getting a couple of yards, and going down. Sometimes when you fight for more yards, you open yourselves up for the opportunity for that ball to get knocked out.
Joshua Tate ripped it loose for Clark Atlanta, and we're looking for the official call. Coming up, Clark Atlanta with the fumble recovery, 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
This is huge for Clark to have the ball back as we're getting ready to go inside of the 1 minute and 45-second mark in the second quarter. He might be down, James.
First turnover of the night for Morehouse, and you see good catch, but then Tate right there to make the rip right before he hits the ground, and the recovery by Clark Atlanta gives them new life with a minute 48. Alex Marlowe on the fumble recovery for Clark Atlanta.
I thought his butt was on the ground just now before that ball came out.
Oh, just by a hair. If he had a bigger butt, it may have hit. Work on those squats. Bradley Battle's been working on his squats, using those strong legs to get some positive yards into Morehouse territory.
Dive play, Coach Weston's like, let's get on the ball and snap this ball, get a couple of yards. About to approach that 1 minute and 30-second mark into the second quarter, going into half. Clark will be really excited if they can get a few more points on the board before they go in for halftime.
Hamby on the tackle. Right now, Morehouse is just trying to hold to go in with a 3-point lead. Battles. This young man has a cracked bone in his foot, ladies and gentlemen, and he has had over 100 yards rushing, 5 yards on that carry.
Very impressed with what Battles is doing in tonight's ball game. He's just determined. He's a physical runner. He's not shying away from his injured foot. He's just giving his team all that he has right now.
3rd down, call it 2. And right now he met a wall. He goes nowhere fast. The battering ram hits the wall and goes nowhere. Good play by number 56, Lance White.
Coach Weston's setting them up right now for some type of play-action pass. Several dive plays right to the middle of that offensive line. Gives his quarterback an opportunity to fake that dive, step back, and see if he can find an open receiver.
And they gave him positive yards before he hit the wall, and now it's enough for the first down. And it's an official timeout because something is wrong with the chains on the far side of the field. 42 seconds left. Morehouse College with a 10-7 lead. You're watching HBCU football on Bounce. James Verrett along with Ryan Stewart, Nisha Butler on the sidelines, and Clark Atlanta looking for their first win of the season. They had a 7-3 lead, and Rich Freeman's team able to get some key turnovers and a short yardage run by T.J. Williams, able to give them a 10-7 lead. They were driving a few minutes ago. Fumble, Clark Atlanta recovers it, and now they're driving to try to regain the lead before we go into half.
At the 42nd mark, 42 seconds, James, I'm sorry. 42-second mark here before we get into halftime. I'm wondering if Jordan Dooley will slip back out and get to that defensive secondary for another open opportunity.
Coming up at halftime, the Toyota Battle of the Bands, Clark Atlanta Mighty Marching Panthers and Morehouse House of Funk Marching Band. Make sure you stay tuned because we'll show both bands, and yes, even the House of Funk. They're taking their pictures already. That's that LeBron James look. Before you perform, let's take the pictures. Trent Earl has done a masterful job of running the wing T offense for Clark Atlanta as they trail by 3. Looking to throw. Stringing it out and throws it out of bounds. Could not find a wide open receiver, looking for DJ Kane, who was at about the 5-yard line. Christopher Hamby there to apply pressure for Morehouse.
Had Kane over there about the 5-yard line. Also had Jordan Dooley, but the defense did a very good job of keeping proper position when it comes to where you want to be at on the receiver, and he just didn't have an open guy.
34 seconds left to play in the first half. Both teams offensively go with no huddle. Earl looking to throw. Ball is batted down. Good play by Clarence Christian using that 6'3" frame and the long arms to step up to bat the ball away.
That's what guys are taught on that defensive front four. When that quarterback throws his arm back to pass the ball, get your arms up in the air and jump. You'll bat those balls down. Very good play by Clarence Christian. He's a long, lanky fellow out there.
29 seconds left to play in the half. The Panthers in white with black and red trail by 3. They give to Taylor, and Taylor able to get some positive yards. We'll call it 5 to make it a 4th down and 5. Mitchell DeWalt right there on the tackle for Morehouse. Montavious Taylor, one of the star backs tonight for Clark Atlanta, as they're trying to stop a 4-game losing streak. And as we end the first half, seems as though Clark Atlanta may have called a timeout.
You know, maybe go for a miracle field goal. Why not?
Mr. Timekeeper, would you please put 2 seconds on the clock, please?
And right before half, they called the last timeout to see if they can get one last play.
Thank you, sir.
And so far from Kevin Weston, he said he had a few new wrinkles, but one of the biggest wrinkles is positive plays from his passing game.
Positive plays from his passing game for a team that runs the ball almost 99% of the time. You wouldn't expect them to throw the ball this many times in the first half. Not only were they throwing the ball this many times in the first half, James, they're having success throwing the ball. Very good wrinkle that Coach Weston's got on his offense right now.
Former assistant coach from Tusculum College took over in the wintertime for Clark Atlanta, able to change the mindset of the Panthers. He said he wanted to change the way they practice, change the pace of practice, and so far this season you see only 32 yards. Tonight, 57. That's not a lot when you think about it, but for this team at this time, huge improvement.
That's a positive gain. They're showing a good level of efficiency right now, and they're doing a good job moving the ball, and they're doing a good job of holding the ball. They can stop with the kind of silly penalties. Their offense would be doing better than they actually are right now.
He has on the back of their T-shirts when they practice, trust, believe, succeed. This should be the last play of the first half. 2 seconds on the clock. Earl looking to throw. Throw, catch, positive yards, and knocked out of bounds. And a player for Morehouse goes down trying to make the tackle. Number 33, Brian Thomas, plays the strong side linebacker, and that's not what you want to see if you're Morehouse, because they have been decimated by injuries to start the year, and right now he's holding that left leg, trying to make the tackle, and he whipped his own legs around and hit the ground very hard.
Hopefully he'll be okay, and we'll see him get up and walk off the field. On that last play, Montavious Taylor, streaking down the sideline, or actually at the middle of the field, had an opportunity to possibly make a catch.
But they will say that it's out of bounds because he did step out once he made the reception. And Nisha is with head coach Kevin Weston. Nisha?
Hey, Coach, what did you like about your team's production in the first half?
The biggest thing, I thought we did a great job defensively of coming out and holding them suckers when they had us down inside the 10-yard line and holding us. I think we're doing a great job on defense right now. We got to do a little bit better job offensively on some execution.
What adjustments did you need to make to regain this lead?
We got to do a better job of blocking people right now offensively. We got to do a better job of just executing across the board, hanging on the football offensively also.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, Nisha. And when we come back, we'll have the Toyota Battle of the Bands. But at half, Morehouse with a 3-point lead right here on Bounce.
Hi, this is Charlie Will. Welcome to the Toyota Let's Go Places.
Welcome back to BT Harvey Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, as Morehouse has a 3-point lead over Clark Atlanta. What you're watching now is the Clark Atlanta University Mighty Marching Panther Band. Let's listen and enjoy. performance by Clark Atlanta University Mighty Marching Panther Band. When we come back, more of the halftime HBCU football on Bounce.
There are some moments you spend your life preparing.
Welcome back to HBCU football on Bounce. Morehouse with a 10-7 lead. We're seeing the final performance of the Clark Atlanta University Mighty Marching Panther Band. And coming up next, the Morehouse House of Funk Marching Band. Listen and enjoy. More of the Morehouse House of Funk Marching Band when we come back from the Toyota Battle of the Bands right here on Bounce.
It's us, Morehouse.
You're listening to the Morehouse House of Funk Marching Band serenade the home crowd here at B.T. Harvey Stadium. Director of Bands Blake Gaines as they play a slow song. We come back, we'll have more, but let's listen to the House of Funk Marching Band. Wonderful performance by the Morehouse House of Funk Marching Band. When we come back, we'll have first half stats and get ready for the second half right here on Bounce.
I can't always keep...
Welcome back. I'm with Coach Freeman. Coach, what did you like about your team in the first half?
Well, you know, we played responsible football. They were able to score on us, but, you know, for the most part, with their ball control offense, we were able to stalemate them and just stay patient. And they made some mistakes that led to 2 scores for us. So we got to make sure we capitalize off that in the second half.
What adjustments are you going to make specifically?
Well, you know, really, we're going to keep doing what we're doing and just make sure we play a little bit harder. Hopefully, we can give our offense a little bit more opportunities. I think they'll make some plays.
Good luck for the second half. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Nisha Butler, James Verrett, along with Ryan Stewart. And so far, Morehouse has been playing uncharacteristic football. Normally, they play a disciplined, ball control, pass it more. But when you think about it, it's been Clark Atlanta who's played a more offensively disciplined game.
Clark Atlanta's dominating the time of possession because, A, they're running the ball like they typically do, and B, they're throwing the ball and catching it. So that's given them the opportunity to just dominate the time of possession right now.
If you're Morehouse, what do you think they need to do in the second half in order to get over the hump?
Do a better job of establishing the line of scrimmage, get more first downs, try to possess the ball longer than they have to hold on to it, to keep that Clark offense off of the field. And they need that defensive front to get to the quarterback to put some pressure on him so he's not as comfortable in the pocket as he has been so far.
In the first half, it was Clark Atlanta that came out really like gangbusters, doing a lot of positive things, running the football, but a fumble. Joshua Thurston right there to lead to a field goal for Morehouse to make it 3-0, and then it was Bradley Battles, the young man transferred from South Florida, able to get Clark Atlanta on board for the first time in this season in the first half, but turnovers have been huge.
Turnovers have literally killed this ball club. Turnovers and penalties. Clark Atlanta's got 5 penalties for 65 yards, and that sets any team back, especially a team that's trying to learn how to play football under a new system.
And T.J. Williams with the short touchdown run to give Morehouse a 10-7 lead. And you see time of possession, Clark Atlanta with a huge lead.
Time of possession, Clark Atlanta is literally eating the football right now. And Morehouse College 0 for 6 on third downs. They have to find a way to stay on the football field so this offense can try to find some type of stride, James.
All right, you see the first half stats, HBCU football right here on Bounce. And when we come back, we'll have the second half. 10-7 is your score.
The Toyota Battle of the Bands halftime show was brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
And we're ready to start the second half. Clark Atlanta deferred. They kicked off, and now it will be Morehouse who will have to start on defense to start the third quarter. Once again, they will kick it short. The up back will take it, has a little hole, but is easily wrapped up at about the 36-yard line. 12-yard return for Clark Atlanta. Kamar Smith on the tackle. And you see the rushing numbers for Bradley Battles and Montavious Taylor. Battles playing the running back, Montavious Taylor playing the wing back. Both of them right on their average per carry for the season, but you see more than 100 yards combined.
More than 100 yards combined, and that's what you want. You want to establish the line of scrimmage by being able to run the ball and keep that defense on their heels. They've done a very good job.
Bradley Battles breaks the line of scrimmage, gets about 5 yards on the carry. He has been the guy who gets the hard yards for Clark Atlanta.
Not going down at first contact, he's not allowing them to tackle him with arm tackles. You've got to put your shoulders on him and wrap up to get him down to the ground.
Young man who transferred from South Florida, a leader on this Clark team. Once again, they give the Battles, and he gets beyond the line of scrimmage, may have gained 1 for a 3rd and short.
Clark has done a good job of making sure that they continue to move the ball on third downs. They're 40% right now, which isn't bad. You want to do a better job. You want to get over that 50% mark, but Morehouse just has not been efficient at stopping this team.
Give to Taylor. Taylor loses his helmet and is buried for a loss. No gain on that play, which will bring up 4th down, and his helmet goes awry. Mitchell DeWalt right there to say hello to Mr. Montavious Taylor.
A lot of physical play. That's the second helmet that we've seen come off during the field of play. And these guys are really playing physical football right now.
And that could have been a penalty because it looks like a hand may have caused that helmet to come off.
Definitely grabbed that helmet off the head just now.
No call. The referees did not see it that way, and it'll be a punting situation. Austin Casillas kicking for Clark Atlanta. Back deep, T.J. Williams for Morehouse. A high punt, but short. And it will go out of bounds depending on where they spot the football. They will spot it at about the 29-yard line, and that's where the Maroon Tigers will take over on the 24-yard punt.
Earlier punt in the first half of 25 yards, punt just now 24 yards. Coach, I'm sure, wants to get more yardage out of those punts.
Monquavius Johnson will take over, and you see his numbers: 3 of 7, 22 yards, no touchdowns. He did have 6 rushing yards, and he is nursing an ankle injury. He did not play against Edward Waters College last week. They are going to give the football to Thomas Williams, and he tries to get around the corner, but strings it out for no gain. Tackle made by number 50, Michael Worthen from Sacramento, California.
Defensive front did a good job of running down the line of scrimmage to extend that play and not allow the running back to turn the ball up the field to get positive yards.
3-yard loss. Good job by Worthen to make the play.
Sometimes you want your defensive front, James, just to stretch that runner out to go out of bounds instead of turning that ball up the field. Very good job.
2nd and long. Flag is thrown, catch is made, positive yards for the Maroon Tigers. Brandon Sarton on the reception. Raynard Williams with the tackle, but this may be all coming back on the 10-yard pass play.
Here again, more penalties. Both coaches, Coach Freeman and Coach Weston, I'm sure want their guys to stay more focused.
Got encroachment on your defense, number 21, 5-yard penalty, replay, take it out.
And instead of them having a 10-yard gain, now it is a 5-yard gain on the penalty, and they will replay 2nd down. So instead of 3rd and 5, they're looking at 2nd and 8. They give to T.J. Williams. He uses his speed and basically outquicks himself, loses his feet, and slips and falls. Gets out to about the 35-yard line.
Coaches will fuss at running backs all the time because they don't like them dancing around the pocket going east to west. They want them to continue to keep their legs moving as they run north and south, and that's something that Thomas Williams didn't do just now.
And you see the numbers from last game against Edward Waters College: 10 rushes, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns, a lot of those in the first half. 3rd down and 6. Johnson getting pressure, and he will be brought down, sacked for Clark Atlanta. Good play there by number 12, Terrence Pryor. But there is a flag.
Just never had a chance. Guys came through the line of scrimmage before he even got through taking his 3-step drop. Coach Weston believes in pressuring the opposing offense with his defense.
And it is a hold.
Holding, 74. That penalty is going to be declined. 4th down.
And once again, the Clark Atlanta defense holds strong. Morehouse has to go back to the drawing board. Punting situation, Timoteo Agoro will be back to punt for Clark Atlanta. They consider him the best athlete on the team as far as speed. He runs a 4.4 and has a hell of a leg too. DJ Kane, fair catch. Catch made at about the 33-yard line. 11:36 left to play. Morehouse College has a 3-point lead. Rich Freeman looking for his defense to hold strong until he can get his offense on track. Welcome Welcome back to HBCU football on Bounce. Morehouse with a 3-point lead. You see number 23, T.J. Williams, one of the star running backs for Morehouse, with a little bit more. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Nisha Butler.
One of the reasons why Morehouse is such a prestigious university is that they offer their student athletes opportunities on and off the field. And Thomas Williams from Morehouse did just as he beat out several applicants to win the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Award. When I talked to him, he said it was the most amazing opportunity of his young lifetime, and that his mother, who of course is his #1 fan, was so proud of him.
And you see Thomas Williams, the young man from Knightdale, North Carolina, only stands 5'10", 185 pounds, but is a battering ram for the Morehouse offense and had an opportunity to go to South Africa. Not bad for the young man from Knightdale, North Carolina.
There's not many athletes that are on a football team that can say they've been able to take a trip to South Africa.
No doubt. No doubt.
Encroachment on your defense. Number 92, 5-yard penalty. Remain. First down.
And not a good look for number 92 for Morehouse. Robert Davis, 5'10", 300-pound freshman. He'll have more opportunities to make up for that penalty. Trent Earl looking to throw, getting some pressure. Flag thrown, obviously a hold, and then another flag thrown, possibly a hold or a helmet-to-helmet. A lot of things going on that play.
A lot of things going on, and a lot of things not good going on that series.
51. Holding on your offense, number 51, 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
And they call that on Evans Joseph, senior from Homestead, Florida.
Clark Atlanta continuing to rack up on the penalty yards. It's hard to sustain a drive when you continue to get penalties.
First down and 15, and push them all the way back to their own 30-yard line. Give the Battles on the inside give, and he gets all of those yards, some of those yards back, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and we'll call it second down and 10. Lance White on the tackle, young man from Columbus, Georgia. Battles, he is dealing with a slight crack in his foot. Had a soft boot on yesterday, but has been a marvel of a back for Clark Atlanta in the first half and doing the same in the third quarter. They give to Taylor. Taylor breaks the line of scrimmage, trying to find some room to run, and does get some more room, close to a first down, maybe a yard or two short.
Very good tackle by Joshua Thurston just now.
Thurston on the tackle, 8-yard gain for Montavious Taylor. And he was wrapped up.
He was wrapped up, but he never gave up on the play. Spun around to get out of a tackle and saw daylight on the outside and took the ball up there for a positive gain.
Third down and short. Battles. Using the battering ram strength that he has, enough to get Clark Atlanta a first down at midfield. Seven yards on the carry, and the Clark Atlanta wing T offense showing how dominant it can be.
A very good play by Battle right there. You see him lowering his shoulder at the line of scrimmage, getting more yards. That's a good, tough run to get the first down.
First and 10 at midfield. They give the Battles once again, and he's able to get possibly 2 or 3 yards on the carry.
A lot of counters and traps are being ran right now in this wing T offense. Coach Weston is doing a good job of not letting the defense know where that ball is going. He's using 3 or 4 different guys to carry the ball, and they're being pretty effective.
See the rushing yards for Clark Atlanta. They're almost on average of what they normally do in a game. Taylor broke through the hole, but stumbles, able to gain about 4 yards to bring up a third down situation.
Here again, to start the second half, Clark Atlanta's doing a good job of eating the ball and holding on to it, draining the clock, and keeping Morehouse's defense on the field and offense off.
Trent Earl, the freshman from Stockbridge High School, just south of Atlanta, and Looks like a possible timeout call. Let's see what the official call is.
Timeout. On your offense. First charge timeout of the half.
With 8:58 left to play, Clark Atlanta trying to convert on third down as they trail by 3 right here on Bounce.
I meet a client that tells me that they have lost like 35 pounds, it just pulls at my heart instantly. That's waking up and saying, I am going to do the best thing for myself when I'm ready to commit. I love, love, love to talk to success stories.
I started the program about 10 months ago. I've lost about 45 pounds.
I've been in Fit Orbit for 7 months and I've lost 54 pounds. I was 205 pounds. I am now 165 pounds, so I've lost 40 pounds.
Fit Orbit creates a system that allows people to access my programs online. You know, we handpick trainers from all over the country. They have to be not only well-knowledge, but very successful. And you don't always get that when you walk into a gym. I love that the trainers are consistently interacting with the client. That's so important. It is like having one-on-one training. So you really are getting a built-in support and a friend that really knows what they're doing, and that's key.
Join today and maximize your weight loss with a free body media fit. FitOrbit.com. Ridiculously affordable, remarkably successful.
Welcome to the Queen Latifah Show.
The Queen Latifah Show is daytime's newest hit. It's energetic and uplifting. And Queen Latifah is talented, versatile, and charismatic.
Younger or older men? Both.
She's a breath of fresh air who's ready to inspire. Discover daytime's hit show with a feel-good vibe. The Queen Latifah Show.
Weeknights at 10 on CW Richmond.
Welcome back to BT Harvey Stadium. HBCU on Bounce. Morehouse nursing a 3-point lead. And we are joined now by Dr. John S. Wilson, class of 1979 here at Morehouse. He is a Morehouse man, and he leads the Morehouse men as the president of the university. And you took the job in January, and soon as you took the job, you made a call to the president, right?
Actually, the president called me. I got a call from the White House 7 days in office, and the White House called, and that led to the President of the United States being the graduation speaker at Morehouse College on May 19th, 2013.
Before you became president of Morehouse, you worked in the White House. That was a dream come true. How big of this was for you to make this come home, this homecoming, to come back to Morehouse College?
Well, it was a great move for me. I mean, at the White House, I was there for 3.5 years and got a good perspective on higher education, on HBCUs in particular. I was aware of their challenges. I've been in higher ed all my career, so I was well set up to come to Morehouse and try to make a transformation happen here.
You have a unique list on your website. You list when graduates, what they graduated in, the top 5, the top 5 grad schools they're going to, and the top 5 companies that have hired your graduates. Why put that out there in the forefront?
Because we want the world to know, and especially young African-American males, but young men in general, to know that you can get there from here. No matter where there is, if you want to be among the best in the world, go to the best graduate schools, get hired by the best employers, you can get there from Morehouse. And so that's why we tout that. And we've been doing it for years. And my job as president is to strengthen our capacity to get these guys ready for a much more competitive world.
Well, we see you in all Morehouse attire. You're a graduate. How big is this rivalry?
This rivalry is pretty big. I mean, when I was here as a student, every time we played Clark, it was just Clark College then, but every time we played them, it was a packed house, a lot of energy, and we're just hoping for a good game tonight.
On the academic side, what does the future hold for Morehouse as far as any new programs that you try to bring online?
We're going to strengthen Morehouse, particularly in the area of STEM. We're going to do a surge in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We're really going to push there. Entrepreneurism and internationalization. We're pushing on those 3. And we're going to elevate our political science department. We've had a great brand in political science, and we're going to strengthen that as well. We have a lot to do to strengthen our faculty, to pay them more. I'm sure they're out there clapping now, hearing that, to pay them more, treat them better, and upgrade our facilities in general. It's a big challenge here, and we're going to meet that challenge.
All All right, Morehouse, a great place to go to school. Congratulations, and hopefully your Maroon Tigers can get over the hump and get the win.
Thank you. I believe we will.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
And you see the campus, and they share a few things in the AU Center, along with Clark Atlanta and Spelman College, which is the all-girls school. They call it the sister school of Morehouse. And you see the notable alumni: Martin Luther King Jr., Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, Maynard Jackson, and of course, Olympic champion Edwin Moses.
The track's named after Mr. Moses.
We have an inverted whistle on the play. Replay.
Down a 4th and 1. Instead of going for it, it looks like Clark Atlanta will make a pooch kick. Austin Casillas and Rich Freeman, head coach for Morehouse, will send T.J. Williams back deep.
It hasn't been a high-scoring game, but it's been very action-packed, James.
And an end-over-end kick, and it will take a Morehouse bounce, and it will stop at about the 23-yard line. Only 18 yards on the punt, but when you're in that situation, Ryan, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly right. You're not trying to. You definitely want to make sure that you don't kick the ball into the end zone. You want to get that ball inside the 20, and where it landed just now would be a good starting spot for the offense and the defense to take the field.
Right now, Morehouse College offense has been stymied by Clark Atlanta's strong defense. And we'll see now if Monquavius Johnson, who has been nursing an ankle injury, did not start this game. Joshua Harris got the start, the sophomore from Detroit, Michigan originally, but did do his high school ball in DeKalb County right outside of Atlanta. Was an adversary of Johnson. On the carry now, Shelton Hamilton able to get some positive yards. Averick Walker on the tackle. But once again for Johnson, it's important, Ryan, to see him get some positive yards and get over the injury. You see right now the rushing yards for Morehouse, only 49. How important is that rushing game to take the pressure off this young freshman quarterback?
The running game is everything. You want your quarterback to be able to be comfortable back there in the pocket, whether he's running the ball or throwing it. By establishing the line of scrimmage, by running the ball effectively, that's how you do that.
And he finds his tight end, and he pays the price, but enough to get the first down. Good play by Kamar Smith, able to make the catch and take the hit from Stephon McGill, 23-yard gain.
McGill literally knocks the socks off of the offender just right. Oh my gosh, look at this hit. And it's a legal hit. It's a legal hit. He didn't use his helmet, he used his shoulders, didn't strike him in the helmet, struck him in the shoulders. That's a textbook tackle. Just wish he'd wrap up. Beautiful play.
1st and 10 for the Maroon Tigers. Johnson looking to throw once again, finds a receiver in Sarton. Sarton able to get close to another first down for the Maroon Tigers.
Clark Atlanta somewhat on their heels right now because Morehouse has done a pretty good job of trying to run the ball, and now they're dropping back and throwing a few passes, and guys are wide open out there in that secondary.
And Sarton is coming off a little gimpy, the young man from Macon, Georgia. He will limp off as they'll try to find another wide receiver to replace him. 2nd down and short. Now the offense is starting to find its rhythm under Monquavius Johnson, the true freshman from Decatur.
And Morehouse is keeping the fast tempo up too.
Johnson getting some late pressure, takes a hit and throws it out of bounds, and then another hit on the receiver who was unable to catch the ball.
Clark Atlanta's firing off on guys out there right now, James.
Devin Mann was the receiver who got the hit, and then Monquavius Johnson, as soon as he throws the ball, he gets hit on the shoulder. Rashad Bryant, one of the defenders there to say hello.
Johnson never saw the rush coming because he was focused on his receiver down the field.
So far, Johnson is 2 of 3 for 33 yards passing. 3rd and short. They're going to try to run it. Gets to the line of scrimmage, may have gotten enough for the first down. Pryor on the tackle, Hamilton on the carry, but he is about a half-yard short. We'll call it 4th and 1, though.
And notice Monquavius Johnson, the minute the play was over, looking to the sideline, rolling his hands like, come on, coach, give me another play so we can keep this tempo up. He wants to make sure that they're keeping Clark Atlanta on their heels by this fast tempo pace.
Trying to get their first 4th down conversion of the night. And Johnson's going to keep, has enough for the first down and a little bit more. 1st and 10, Morehouse. Good play call.
Fake the dive play, suck the entire defensive front into the middle of the field, and bounce outside with the ball to get the first down. Very nice play. Everyone sucked into the middle of the field for Johnson just to get out there by himself.
Marlowe able to track down the quarterback, and now big number 74, Richard Washington, the left tackle, has to come off the field.
That's not a good sign. He's one of the leaders on and off the football field for this Morehouse team.
6'9", 330-pound junior from Washington, D.C.
The big man.
Johnson looking to throw, makes a throw and catch. Close enough for another first down. Reception made by number 18, Don Cox, playing that reserve wideout role.
Monquavius Johnson is very comfortable in the pocket when it comes to him throwing the ball down the field. He sits in there, he believes in his blockers, and he's surveying the field and finding the open man.
And Don Cox tonight, you see his season numbers, but he has been the guy who has gotten Morehouse out of the jam, making a good throw and catch right there.
You saw Johnson step back into the pocket, plant that back foot, and lunge into the ball. That was a beautiful play.
Bring a fullback in and Marcus Alford, and they're going to give to Shelton Hamilton, and he finds a hole, able to get into the second level of Clark Atlanta defense before he is stopped. A 5-yard gain for Hamilton.
And I love when running backs get hit and they get stopped, but they refuse to go to the ground. He wants their defense to know it's going to take more than these little feather hits to bring me down.
Ninth play of the drive. Once again, they're going to give. Fumble on the play. Johnson trying to pull it out of the breadbasket of Hamilton and almost had a huge turnover for Morehouse.
You allow the quarterback to read the defense to see what's better, to give it to the diver, to keep it himself, and he held on a little bit too long instead of giving the ball to his running back, and the ball ended up dropping on the ground. They're lucky to still have that ball.
Third down. So far for this tonight, they're 0 for 8 in third down conversion. 3rd and 5.
Hey, coach!
Johnson eludes one tackler, getting pressure again, and he can't. The ball is loose. Clark Atlanta recovers. Once again, Clark Atlanta defense stands strong.
Sometimes as a quarterback, you try so hard to make a play that you end up hurting your team by letting the ball hit the ground. And that's what happened just now with Monquavius Johnson.
And you see Brainard getting coaching from Kevin Weston.
Did a good job of staying in the pocket, but he realized the rush was coming, tried to get out and just did too much. You can't hold that ball in your hand like it's a loaf of bread. You've got to protect it, and it wasn't protected just now. That's why it hit the turf.
Second turnover of the night for Morehouse, and Clark Atlanta doing a good job defending one of the best rushing offenses in the SIAC.
They've got a bend but don't break philosophy right now in Clark Atlanta's defense. They're doing a good job on the field.
Battles with a huge hole, able to get 10 yards, a little bit more. First down, Clark Atlanta. Austin Benton with a touchdown-saving tackle, 11-yard gain for the Panthers.
Here again, you see Battle spinning and driving those legs and doing everything possible to get as much yards as possible. Broke a couple of tackles just now. He's a very aggressive runner.
Give the Battles again another huge hole, able to get about 7 yards on that carry. Now now the offensive line for Clark Atlanta starting to wear on the Morehouse defense. Joshua Thurston on the tackle from his cornerback position.
And you've seen the total opposite in offenses. You saw a Morehouse offense that was really picking the pace up, and now you've got Clark Atlanta trying to do the same exact thing.
Battles once again able to get a first down. This is the Bradley Battles drive. The young man from Marianna, Florida, by way of University of South Florida. He's a graduate there. He's in grad school right now with Morehouse, doing good things for Kevin Weston and the Clark Atlanta Panther team.
Clark Atlanta working the right side of the field with their offensive line, getting good gaping holes over there.
And now finally Morehouse uses a defender to make a play. Good open field tackle made by number 97, Clarence Christian.
Both of these teams are here. They're working hard, James. They're working extremely hard to do the best that they can. And I'm impressed with what I'm seeing offensively from Clark Atlanta tonight.
Trent Earl looking to throw. Catch made. Trying to get enough for the first down. Good play by Antonio Ford. First time we've called his name out tonight, but he is one of those other reserve running backs that they will use tonight. Austin Benton on the tackle.
Fake the play action, rolled out. Antonio Ford sitting right there in the flats waiting on the ball. And a very good job by Trent Earl to get him the ball. He's a real calm passer, can throw the ball moving extremely well.
Staying with the no huddle, true freshman Trent Earl, young man graduating from Stockbridge High School just south of Atlanta, gives to Taylor. Taylor trying to string it out, has some room to run, enough for the first, has more. Montavious Taylor will go into the end zone. Touchdown Clark Atlanta. 35-yard run, and we've got a ball game.
We've got a ball game. A very determined run just now. Using stiff arms to push himself off of the defender as he turned the corner and then used his speed to get it up the field. Very nice run.
And Montavious Taylor puts one move and then he's off to the races.
A nice misdirection play with Montavious coming from the opposite side of the field. It's like he slipped out of there and no one saw him.
And Casilius' point after attempt does not make it over the crossbar. No good. But there is a flag.
With a team like Clark,
encroachment on your defense, number 4, Ray King.
And a huge break for Clark Atlanta and their kicker, Austin Casilius.
Clark's continuing to find breaks in the ball game, and Morehouse is just giving it to him.
And now he gets another opportunity for the point after.
Second man never misses. They capitalize with the mulligan.
And with 2:27 left to play, Montavious Taylor and company has the Panthers with a 4-point lead. HBCU football on bounce.
Be right there, baby. Sorry.
New Pampers. Unlike ordinary diapers with 2 layers, Pampers have 3 absorbent layers to stay up to 3 times drier. So babies can sleep soundly all night. Wishing you love, sleep, and play. Pampers.
Getting Social Security disability benefits can be a difficult and confusing process, especially if your claim has already been denied. You need a skilled disability lawyer on your side. Call Jeff McDonald and Associates. We understand the system and how it works. If you can't work due to a disease, illness, or injury, and you've been denied, let us fight for you. There's no cost unless we get the benefits you deserve. Just call Jeff, 804-888-8888.
This season on The Originals.
Welcome back, Rebecca.
Did I not warn you?
I didn't think that I wanted this baby until I had to fight for it.
How many times will Elijah forgive you?
Don't be fooled, love. I'm the devil in disguise.
The Originals.
Tuesday at 8 on CW Richmond.
HBCU football on bounce, and we have an incredible game going right now. Clark Atlanta 14, Morehouse College 10, right here at B.T. Harvey Stadium on the campus of Morehouse College. And you see Montavious Taylor for Clark Atlanta with a 35-yard run to give the Panthers the 14-10 lead. James Barrett along with Ryan Stewart, Nisha Butler roaming the sidelines. And for Clark Atlanta, they are looking not only for their first win of the season, but their first win in the last 5 tries against their rival, Morehouse College.
They're playing determined, and they believe and they know that they can do it. They've done a very good job of controlling the line of scrimmage and running the football. They've thrown the ball exceptionally well today. This offense and this defense, they put together quite the series of plays to have this 14-10 lead right now.
Austin Casillas got a second try at a point after attempt, which was finally successful to give his team a 4-point lead. Back deep for Morehouse, TJ Williams and Joshua Thurston.
Should be a lot of fireworks in this fourth quarter as we get there, James.
And Thurston will take it inside his own 10, has some room to run. The speedster beyond midfield and is brought down by the kicker, but not before he gets into Clark Atlanta territory.
Very good job by the special teams. It's the third of the game, and a lot of people emphasize special teams. Very good job by Morehouse to get great field position coming out of this kick. Yeah, you've got a couple of Clark jerseys that's following each other, and that's something when it comes to kickoff return and kickoffs. You do not follow the same color jersey. That allows too many holes for the runner to get the ball through.
Handling success. You see Joshua Thurston right there trying to motivate his team to get back on top. But for Clark Atlanta, they haven't had much success all season. And to have a lead going into the fourth quarter in a few minutes, handling that on special teams is paramount.
Exactly. You need all 3 phases to be as strong as possible. And that's a big letdown for Clark Atlanta right there.
And now the rushing attack for Morehouse is doing well. Shelton Hamilton on the carry. Michael Worthen with the tackle, the young man from Sacramento, California.
The last thing Morehouse is going to do is just lie down to Clark Atlanta. They're not going to do that. They're going to continue to fight and continue to push. And we've got an injury on the field.
And we have a player down for Morehouse. Looks like it's Drew Wilkins, 6'4", 315-pound junior from Elkins, Pennsylvania. And sometimes you're down, but when you're up, get ready for maximum Van Damage. 2 nights of knuckle-busting, bone-crushing action from Jean-Claude Van Damme. Maximum Van Damage starts tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, only on Bounce TV, our way. And I've seen Van Damme knock down some guys the size of Drew Wilkins at 6'4", 315, but we're happy to see the young man able to walk off on his own. Third-year player here at Morehouse.
Even better to see him hit a light jog to head to the sideline.
Sometimes those big guys, it's just a pinch, and they'll just knock them all down.
That's the truth. Oh, he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's big. Mama loves him.
Of course.
Training staff from Morehouse will do their best to get him back out on the field. Rich Freeman wants to see his team regain the lead in the long run, able to help them to that end. Johnson looking to throw. getting some pressure, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Almost a sack, but definitely pressure by Clark Atlanta, led by Charles Alford.
Good job by Monquavius Johnson, realizing that there was no open receivers down the field, and the pressure was getting up the field and across the line of scrimmage. So he tucked the ball and got as many yards as he could, almost got back to the line of scrimmage.
Now 3rd down and long. 3rd down conversions have been few and far between for Morehouse tonight. Johnson looking to throw and almost intercepted, but the ball was caught by T.J. Williams, but he goes nowhere fast. Helmets are flying, flags are being thrown, and obviously Clark Atlanta player lost his cool on that play.
Charles Alford, very excited about making a play, actually had his helmet ripped off. Johnson almost throws it straight to him. Oh, these guys have been doing a serious job of grabbing helmets tonight, James.
And obviously they're grabbing each other, doing a little bit more than grabbing helmets.
Right. Clark found themselves in a position.
Unsportsmanlike on your defense. Continue to play after his helmet came off. That's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Safety penalty.
Safety penalty. When your helmet comes off, you're supposed to eliminate yourself from the game.
Now, I know Kevin Weston is saying, well, he didn't knock his own helmet off. Somebody from the other team knocked his helmet off. So where's that flag?
I don't necessarily like that call, James.
Bottom line, they're trying to make sure that Mr. Alford and the rest of the players on the field are as safe as possible, but I know Coach Weston wants that back. And you see, he's not really that upset,
right?
Because he knows somebody ripped your helmet off.
You got to protect the players.
1st and 10 for Morehouse inside the 40 of Clark Atlanta. They're going to give huge hole for T.J. Williams, able to get a little bit more. That rushing attack starting to gain ground. Brainard Williams on the stop, 5-yard gain.
So Clark Atlanta had an opportunity to take it to 4th down, and I mean 4th and long. And because of the penalty, they've given life again to the Morehouse offense.
Once again, a running a play, T.J. Williams, and he is showing that not only he has the speed, but the wherewithal to take the brunt of the defense. Alex Marlowe on the tackle.
Williams has got some shakes back there. Every time a defender lines him up and gets ready to launch to make a tackle, he shakes him down and gets out of trouble.
Inside the 30-yard line of Clark Atlanta, down to the 26. Once again, give to Williams. He breaks the line of scrimmage, has some more. Enough for a first down to about the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Maroon Tigers. A 14-yard gain. Stop made by McGill for Clark.
This Morehouse offensive line is doing an outstanding job of opening up holes for their running backs to continue to gain positive yards.
Shelton Hamilton in right now, breaks the line of scrimmage, knocks himself close to the goal line. He's going to push. Does he make it in? Touchdown Morehouse. Offensive line pushes him through for the score.
Very good hard run. Refusing to be stopped. When you come to that line of scrimmage and you see that end zone wide open like that.
Clark, helmet off, one play.
Shelton Hamilton with the 11-yard touchdown run. All runs on that drive. And now we're seeing the #1 rushing offense in the SIAC show its worth on that drive.
It all starts with the line of scrimmage, James, and establishing it by getting low pad level and pushing back the defensive line. They did that in that last drive.
Hector Solis makes it 14 out of 15. And you see, once again, Shelton Hamilton, he gets close to the line, and then the rest of the offensive line says, no, we're going to push you through to make the score.
Stephen McGill almost tried to strip the ball instead of making him secure the tackle, but sometimes you just got to get him down and live for the next play. Good hard run.
The offensive line of Richard Washington, Drew Wilkins, Trevante Thompson, Ajane Robinson, and Shea Martin play big as Shelton Hamilton gets the score.
Big Richard Washington right now. James is playing through some pain. He's grimacing on the sideline, grimacing when he comes out of the huddle on the football field, but he stays in there for his football team.
This is a rivalry game. 500 yards separate Clark Atlanta from Morehouse College. And right now we have a 3-point lead with 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Rich Freeman and the rest of the Maroon Tigers trying to hold on to make it 5 in a row in this classic in its 85th engagement between the two schools.
Really good game so far. Not a huge amount of points on the board, but defensively we're seeing some very big hits. Offensively we're seeing some very good runs. And the offensive line of both teams have done a pretty good job of making sure that they were able to run the ball.
Hector Solis to kick back deep. Trevius Blair and DJ Kane.
That's a cool name, James. DJ Kane.
I think he may have used it once one of the real DJ Kanes was there. Blair with the return. Breaks one tackle, but then a host of other Maroon jerseys right there, and you see how fired up Morehouse is. Just Joshua Austin there to lead the way. Should be a marvelous fourth quarter. The front yard brawl here in Atlanta. Morehouse College versus Clark Atlanta. 3 points separate the teams right here on Bounce.
Walk into your laundry room and it just hits you. That nasty odor coming from your washer. Say farewell to the smell with Tide Washing Machine Cleaner. It goes straight to the source of the stink to lift odor-causing residues off your washer's drum. Tide Washing Machine Cleaner.
Wow, I've been Claritin Clear for 10 days.
When your allergies start, doctors recommend taking 1 non-drowsy Claritin every day during your allergy season for continuous relief.
18 days.
12 days.
24 days of continuous relief. Live Claritin Clear every day.
Chloe's the princess.
I don't throw hissy fit. You are throwing a hissy fit right now.
Brooke's the hot mess.
It's Saturday morning. I need my fat girl breakfast Saturday morning.
2 broke girls keeping it 100.
I went full on Jack Nicholson shining on y'all. My bad.
From the producer of Martin and the Jamie Foxx Show.
I'm putting my face on. I would pick a better face if I was you.
My Crazy Roommate, an all-new original series, premiering Monday, October 14th on the new Bounce TV Our Way.
Me? I just moved here from out of state, so it seemed like the right time.
I spent a lot of time finding the right car. Then I called Amica for the best car insurance.
Who chooses Amica for car insurance? People who call for a great price and discover an exceptional value.
So we just got married, and now we have to decide whose car insurance we're going to keep.
There's no way I'm leaving Amica.
I know.
I'm not.
She's not.
Me? I have a new house, so I saved a lot of money by getting auto and home insurance when I called Amica.
And their life insurance is really affordable, too.
Saving money is a good reason to call Amica for a free auto insurance quote.
Me? I think when you compare the coverage, the service, the price, and our financial strength, you can't make a better call.
And when you call, you always talk directly to Amica. There's nobody in the middle.
Go online or call for your free, no-obligation quote. It's fast and easy.
We're ready for your call right now.
The beat of football is strong in the state of Georgia. 2 schools that represent the rich history of Atlanta. Clark Atlanta University and Morehouse College. Linked in education, but tonight divided in the search of gridiron supremacy. Bounce. Football our way. And we start the final quarter with Morehouse with a 3-point lead. James Verrett along with Ryan Stewart, Nisha Butler will be roaming the sidelines. This rivalry in its 85th meeting, Clark Atlanta leads at 48-34-2. Morehouse has won 10 of the last 13. Last year, 34-16 was your final score. And right now, Clark Atlanta trying to do their best to regain the lead. Getting an additional signal play from the side. They go with a no huddle, running the wing T. Running back Antonio Ford, the only back in the backfield, along with 2 wing backs. And now they run out of time. Should be delay of game because they couldn't get the right play in
delay of
on
game
time.
On your offense, number 2, 5-yard penalty, remain, first down.
when you have a true freshman in Trent Earl, and Coach Weston said they have to be patient because he's learning on the job. One of the things is you've got to get the playoff or call a timeout. He allowed to get the penalty rather than take a crucial timeout right here in the fourth quarter. They're going to give to Antonio Ford. Antonio Ford, just like a Lincoln, gets enough for the first down.
Outstanding run by Antonio Ford, busting through the center of the line and keeping his legs moving.
21 yards on the carry. Antonio Ford, young man spelling Bradley Battles, doing a good job finding the hole. Trent Earl, roll out looking to throw. He's going to keep it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but goes nowhere beyond that. Let's go down to Nisha Butler, who has an update from the sideline. Nisha?
Bradley Battles has really been one of the hardest off the first. Is walking around the lines, touching his ribs and grimacing in pain. It doesn't look like he's going to be entering this game anytime soon.
That is a huge blow. Thanks a lot, Nisha. That's a huge blow when you look at the yards. 25 rushes, 95 yards, and a score for the young man who transferred from South Florida. Now it may be up to Antonio Ford to carry the rest of the load from the running back position.
Well, Ford just had a good job and a very good run while relieving Bradley. But again, when you've given the ball to somebody 25 times, your team really depends on it.
First charge timeout.
Kevin Weston and Clark Atlanta calls a timeout. 13:55 to play in the fourth quarter. Morehouse with a 17-14 lead. HBCU football on bounce.
Businesses have to get creative. They have to leave an impression. You can have the best products, but if you don't get the word out, nobody's going to find you.
Millions of business owners count on Vistaprint to promote their business.
Small businesses need help, and the products that Vistaprint offers are just that.
The easy-to-use tools and templates at Vistaprint.com make it simple to look professional and coordinate your marketing across everything from business cards to websites to postcards and more. See how easy today. Enter promo code TV250 and get 250 cards for just $10.
They come up with ideas that I don't think of. It gives us an opportunity to be personal, creative, and it's a great value. So I love it.
Enter promo code TV250 today and we'll cover the shipping for free.
250 cards, you can leave a lot of impressions with that.
Vistaprint.com.
We going old school, you know what I mean, cause TMZ be on your mother flipping screen. But celebs are acting the best of worst, you know we be the ones who get there first. Like when Anthony Weiner took a picture of his junk, or Rihanna made it rain on a hopper dunker dunk. When Prince Harry showed his derriere, or when T-Mom tried to sell her underwear. From Rihanna to Lindsay to Justin Bieber, TMZ is the best at being on the scene. If it happened here or anywhere in the world, it happened on TMZ for all you boys and girls.
Late nights on CW Richmond.
17-14 is your score here in the fourth quarter. HBCU football on bounce. Morehouse and Clark Atlanta share everything except some dorm rooms, but from the executive producer of Martin and the creator of the Jamie Foxx Show comes an all-new original series. Don't miss the premiere of My Crazy Roommate on October 14th, only on Bounce TV. Now, that would definitely make a story if Clark Atlanta players in Morehouse had to share dorm space.
That'd be too much.
Second down, Antonio Ford gets to the line of scrimmage, met by a Maroon wall. Goes nowhere fast. Lance White leads the way for Morehouse, the young man from Fayetteville, Georgia, just south of Atlanta. One of the many suburbs of this crown jewel of the South.
Big number 93, Mitchell DeWalt has made some very good plays.
And Clark Atlanta 6 of 14 on third. You see their play selection tonight. They have had a lot of passes, more than they usually do. Trent Earl looking to throw, rolls out, has some time, finds DJ Kane. Will they call it a reception? Yes, catch made, first down Clark Atlanta. 15-yard gain for DJ Kane.
Really impressed with Trent Earl and his ability to roll out while moving and throwing the ball very effectively. Wasn't the perfect pass, but again, hit Kane right in the spot where they were able to get a first down.
True freshman being introduced to this rivalry in its 85th meeting. And if he can get a win here, a lot of people will never forget the name Trent Earl. Nice pitch out. Jordan Dooley able to get close to another first down for Clark Atlanta. The rushing attack of this wing T is starting to wear down the Maroon Tigers.
And on top of wearing down the Maroon Tigers, they've thrown the ball so much, it's a guessing game by the Morehouse defense of what's coming next. And there's a lot of uncertainty right now from the defense on the football field.
Second down, call it 2. They need to get beyond the 35-yard line. They need to get inside the 35 for a first. They're going to give to Antonio Ford. He has a hole enough for another first down for the Panthers, and they keep moving forward. 7 yards on the carry. Kyle Pogg on the tackle for Morehouse.
Clark just continuing to work the middle of the field, trying to break down the interior linemen for the Morehouse defense and just push the ball down the field. They've done a very good job of establishing the run.
Give to Montavious Taylor. Taylor using a juke move to get some positive yards, but he's brought down by Brian Thomas, the young man from Atlanta, Georgia, and now Montavious quick to get up. But the clock now starting to churn a little bit. 11 minutes and counting.
Well, we talked about it at halftime, James. Clark has done a very good job of controlling the time of possession. That's making it tough on the Morehouse defense.
So far, 7 plays in this drive, 6 runs, only 1 pass. Second down, call it 6. Dooley in motion. They pitch it out to Dooley. He fumbles the football. Morehouse recovers, and once again, ball security does Clark Atlanta in. The Maroon Tiger defense steps up big. Richard Sanders on the fumble recovery, and Coach Weston can't believe it.
Yeah, that's definitely a setback for this Clark Atlanta football team. He just never secured the pitch. The pitch was good. It was in his hands, but he took his eyes off the ball before securing it. You've got to look that ball all the way in before you run with it. You can't run with the ball if you don't have it. That's a costly fumble.
Good job, Sanders, the junior from Atlanta, Georgia, and now the rushing attack for Morehouse starting to reestablish itself. Good carry there by number 23, T.J. Williams. He is one of the stars of this offense that lost their true superstar, David Carter, who's the all-time leading rusher. Last year was his last season. Finished with his eligibility, and now, as Coach says, he doesn't have a superstar, but he has 3 stars in Shelton Hamilton, Thomas Williams, along with the quarterback, Montavious Johnson. Those are a 3-headed monster, so to speak, as Michael Worthen on the tackle. They're able to run the football effectively.
Carter was the all-time leader in scoring, rushing, and touchdowns in school history, so it's almost impossible to replace a player of that magnitude.
Terrence Pryor on the tackle. You see him patting his head. T.J. Williams needs a little blow, and coming in just as effective, number 21, Shelton Hamilton.
Morehouse now just trying to milk the clock, and grind it out, hold on to the ball, don't do anything silly to continue to hold on to this 3-point lead.
Keeper for Johnson, trying to elude the corner, but is brought down. But there is a flag on the play. Joshua Tate making the good open field tackle for Clark Atlanta.
Very good job by Joshua Tate to come up there and maintain his upfield shoulder, staying straight on the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. He was the last line of defense.
See Tate so far this season, 10 tackles.
Holding on your offense, number 74. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Did a very good job of coming up the field, staying flat, and not getting shook. Clark Atlanta gets another chance, thanks to the hold, to get the ball back.
4th down. Timoteo Agoro to punt. DJ Kane back deep for Clark. And this is a boomer.
Nice punt.
They told us he had a leg, and this one, does it go into the end zone? And yes, they will call it a touchback. 9:43 left to play in this game. Morehouse holding on to a 3-point lead. HBCU football right here on Bounce.
It's Maximum Van Damage. 2 nights of knuckle busting, bone crunching. Maximum Van Damage.
How does it feel to be hunted?
With Jean-Claude Van Damme and Lionheart and Hard Target on Sunday. Followed by Sudden Death and The Quest on Monday. 2 nights of Maximum Van Damage. Sunday night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And Monday night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. On the new Bounce TV, Our Way.
Need quick cash? Jewelry and Coin Exchange specializes in buying, selling, and trading U.S. foreign coins and currency. Jewelry Coin Exchange also offers custom design jewelry, jewelry repair, and watch and clock repair. Jewelry and Coin Exchange in the Ashcake Center in Ashland.
Welcome to the Queen Latifah Show.
The Queen Latifah Show is daytime's newest hit. It's energetic and uplifting. And Queen Latifah is talented, versatile, and charismatic.
Younger or older men? Both.
She's a breath of fresh air who's ready to inspire. Discover daytime's hit show with a feel-good vibe. The Queen Latifah Show.
Weeknights at 10 on CW Richmond.
Jewelry and Coin Exchange does it all. We pay top dollar for new, used, and scrap gold, silver, and platinum jewelry and coins. Call now or visit us online at jewelrycoinshop.com for up-to-the-minute selling prices of gold and silver. Jewelry and Coin Exchange in the Ashcake Center in Ashland.
And a wonderful shot of the skyline here in Atlanta. HBCU football on Bounce. Morehouse with a 3-point lead. It's the battle for the throne. The 2013 SIAC Football Championship is Saturday, November 16th at 7 p.m. at Lakewood Stadium in Atlanta. Experience the excitement as champions of the East and West Divisions meet to kick off the 100th anniversary of the SIAC. Purchase your tickets in advance. For more information on the SIAC Championship and events, visit thesiac.com and buy your tickets now. 9:43 left to play in this game. Morehouse holding on to a 3-point lead, and now we'll see if Clark Atlanta can answer and regain the lead. Try to go inside, goes nowhere fast. Ford on the carry may have gained 1 yard.
Defensive line did a very good job of holding the spot just now, not giving up any space and area to stuff that run.
They're going to give him 2, make it 2nd down and 8. Trent Earl has done a masterful job. He has had some freshman mistakes, the true freshman out of Stockbridge, Georgia. But so far, so good for the youngster. Rolling out the pass. Looking for DJ Kane, and Kane makes the catch, enough possibly for the 1st down. Kane only stands at about 5'5", and that's with cleats with the long cleat.
Kane's doing a good job of making sure to secure the catch. I know he wishes Earl would put the ball in a position where he could continue to get up the field, but again, you're happy getting the 1st down to move the chains to have 4 more downs.
They're forcing him to be a possession receiver,
exactly.
Even though he does have breakaway speed.
Exactly.
1st and 10 at the 31.
DB's lined up 8-9 yards off the Kane.
Montavious Taylor has some move on the outside. He does break the line of scrimmage, gets close to another 1st down. Montavious Taylor well over 100 yards rushing. Austin Benton on the tackle for Morehouse. And you see the young man, Bradley Battles, number 1, 25 rushes, 95 yards, and you see his ribs. He's grimacing. Not only does he have a cracked bone in his foot, now he possibly has some rib damage, and they really need the redshirt senior who transferred from South Florida.
Now's not the time for teammates to be body bumping the young man with hurt ribs.
Good throw and catch. Dooley on the reception, 1st and 10 for Clark Atlanta. Deep in Morehouse territory, Joshua Thurston with a touchdown-saving tackle, and now Clark Atlanta back in business.
Jordan Dooley has done a very good job of getting up the field from the slot position all night long. It's like the linebackers and the safeties aren't paying him any attention, and Trent Earl continues to find him well up the field.
31 yards on the reception for Jordan Dooley, a team not known for passing, finding his favorite receiver, Montavious Taylor, right there on the carry, able to get another positive yard. Jamil Irvin Muhammad on the tackle, the young man from East St. Louis, Illinois.
The Morehouse defense is so used to having Dooley blocking on the line of scrimmage that when he releases for a pass, he's getting up the field by himself. See, hands on the hips right now with the front seven of the Morehouse team. They're tired.
6th play of the drive, and you see rushing by committee, Monquavius Taylor leading the way. Going to try to string it to the outside and is brought down. Good open field tackle made by Thaddeus Shaw for Morehouse. 3-yard loss for Clark Atlanta.
Every time I see them turn around and Trent Earl pitching that ball, I get a little nervous because they've dropped a couple of those today. But again, the defensive line did a good job of sliding down the line of scrimmage, not turning either way to give the running back a hold to run the field, run the ball up the field.
3rd down, call it 12. They need to get to the 20-yard line for a first. Earl looking to throw. Has DJ Kane. Will they call it a catch? Yes, they will call it a catch. 1st down, Clark Atlanta inside the 20-yard line of Morehouse. 13-yard gain by DJ Kane.
A wonderful play and a great catch by DJ Kane right there. He's making sure that that ball is caught every time Trent Earl trusts him to catch that ball. He's sacrificing his body, he's getting down to the ground, and he's letting that ball come straight into the cradle of his arms. A very good job by the receiver.
Taylor looking for some room, eludes one tackler, skips and hops his way for some positive yards.
Look at the effort, just not wanting to quit on the play. And as he's going down, with the last little bit of energy he's got, he takes another lunge to get another yard. That's a very hard run.
2nd down in the red zone. Give to Taylor once again, breaks the line of scrimmage, trying to find a little bit more, close to a 1st down inside the 10. May have been brought down at about the 9 or the 8. Clarence Christian in on the tackle for Morehouse.
Here's a situation where you want your runner to get as many yards as he possibly can, but you don't want him to mess around and have a turnover because he's trying to get so many yards. Hold on to the ball, and when you're down, just go down. Sometimes it's not good to fight. We've seen that earlier in today's ball game.
Timeout has been called.
Timeout. Morehouse. 1st charge timeout of the half.
And Morehouse wants to try to get their defense set with 5:23 left to play. When we come back, we'll see if the Maroon Tiger defense can hold as they have a 3-point lead. Bounce as HBCU football right back.
There are some moments you spend your life preparing for. Not to prove them wrong, but yourself right. So you work harder, drive stronger, and before you know it, you didn't just beat the game.
Who is that? Don't know, but he's going places.
You changed it.
Hey, son, ready for the interview?
I got this.
Introducing the 2014 Next Generation Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
Chloe's the princess.
I don't throw hissy fit. You are throwing a hissy fit right now.
Brooke's the hot mess.
It's Saturday morning. I need my fat girl breakfast Saturday morning.
2 broke girls keeping it 100.
I went full on Jack Nicholson, shining on y'all. My bad.
From the producer of Martin and the Jamie Foxx Show.
I'm putting my face on. I would pick a better face if I was you.
My Crazy Roommate, an all-new original series, premiering Monday, October 14th on the new Bounce TV Our Way.
Attention.
Stevens. I know you can hear me. I can prove I'm real.
Just waking up in the morning and to be well. Quite honest with you, I ain't really sleep well. You ever feel like you're training
think you're a freak. You're not. You're on the brink of becoming somebody truly extraordinary.
Premieres Wednesday at 9 on CW Richmond.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Gillette. Sensitive skin demands precision equipment. Fusion Pro Glide is Gillette's #1 razor on sensitive skin. And by Toyota, introducing the all-new 2014 next generation Corolla. Toyota, let's go places. And key play right here for Clark Atlanta as they trail by 3. Fourth quarter, 5:23 left to play. James Verrett along with Ryan Stewart. Let's see what'll happen. Give to Taylor. Taylor breaks the line of scrimmage, has a little bit more. In for the score. Clark Atlanta regains the lead. 9-yard carry for Montavious Taylor. The young man, freshman from Atlanta, Georgia Carver High School, with the big score, and the Clark Atlanta alumni who have made it here to BT Harvey Stadium cannot believe it. Yes, they have the lead.
You wanted 1 yard for the first down, but he took it 9 for the touch. Very, very aggressive play call by Coach Weston.
Casillas with the point after attempt. The holder trying to quiet the crowd. Kick is successful. And the Clark Atlanta alumni have something to cheer about because Montavious Taylor has given them the lead once again.
Very good off-tackle play. Coming from the opposite side of the field. Again, arm tackling is not going to do it, and that's a missed tackle because you didn't get your head across the bow. He just wasn't going to go down. Montavious Taylor had his eye on the prize.
10 plays, 80 yards. His second touchdown tonight, a 9-yard touchdown run. It ate up 4 minutes and 30 seconds of clock. And now, for the first time all season, Clark Atlanta has a lead late, looking for their first win. And Rich Freeman right now, it's gut check time for the Maroon Tigers.
Defense needs to stand up and play with pride. 5 minutes and 18 seconds will seem like an eternity, but they got to make sure that they don't make any mental mistakes.
Marching mighty Panther band from Clark Atlanta, able to play praises for the team in black and red. But now with 5 minutes left, Morehouse will have one more opportunity. Now Casillas, the ball went off the tee. He'll have one more opportunity to put it back on the tee. If not, someone will have to hold it for him. For our first broadcast right here on Bounce, I think we have had football our way, which is excitement.
Oh my gosh, this has been a very exhilarating game to watch. Both teams played extremely hard, and there's still a lot of football to be played.
Thurston will let it go out of bounds, and even Casillas is kicking it off, and now it's time for our Gillette Fusion Pro Glide Precision play of the game, and it's right there. Montavious Taylor with the touchdown run to give Clark Atlanta the lead.
You want to see the guys excited after the touchdown, but of course they have to remember that there's still football to be played and the game is not over. Be happy with your lead, but be focused on your job.
You see the total points. This is the most points they've scored in a game so far this season. Their total points coming into tonight was 21 points. Right now they've equaled their entire season high for total points.
Coach Weston believes in this team, and he's teaching this team how to win football games. Even though they come in here defeated without getting any victories, he said he has seen this team grow up every single week right in front of his very own eyes.
And once again, we have a timeout due to an issue with the yardage chain.
I've never seen this before.
I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Sometimes you break the chain. And for Clark Atlanta, they're trying to break the losing chain.
I like that. I see what you did there. That's nice, James. That's good work.
And Montavious Taylor and company are using their legs to try to effort this school, this team, into a new place. Because for the past 4 years, they've always left this game as losers. Now it's up to Monquavius Johnson to lead Morehouse to a win. Good balance by T.J. Williams, able to turn a negative into a positive.
Very good run. Outside linebacker just now lost contain, and defensively, you always have to keep contained when you're the guy that's got the force support of the defense.
2nd down and 9. Still plenty of time, 5:12 left to play in the game. 21-17 is your score. Clark with the lead. Throw and catch. Good throw and catch to Devon Mann. We have not called his name all night tonight, but he's the leading receiver. Isaac Turner on the tackle, 9-yard gain. He has 241 yards in receiving yards, and he has a total of 5 touchdowns, but they have not been able to get the ball to their 6'2", 200-pound receiver. 1st and 10. Once again, a running play. Shelton Hamilton able to get 2 yards on the carry.
Clark doing a good job, and now you're starting to see them lay on top of their running backs and their receivers when they get on the ground, trying to slow the pace of the game up.
2nd down and 8. Johnson throwing long, looking for a receiver, and overthrows Devon Mann. Now in the 4th quarter, he's going to his #1 receiver stat-wise, but he has only had 1 reception so far tonight.
Devon Mann kind of gave up on that route before the ball was all the way to him. If he keeps running, even though the ball went out of bounds, if he keeps running, he'll put himself in a better position to make the play.
So far tonight, 0-11 on 3rd down conversions are the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse. Right now, they need to get one conversion to keep the drive alive. With time, throw, interception! Interception! Stephon McGill, flags are thrown. Clark Atlanta, 4 minutes and 16 seconds away from breaking a losing streak, but there are 2 flags on the field.
None of them prior to the interception, though.
30 yards on the return. Stephon McGill, the senior, has never beaten Morehouse since he's been at Clark Atlanta. Tonight, he is 4 minutes and 16 seconds away from making Kevin Weston a savior on the campus of Clark Atlanta.
He got up the hash exceptionally well to get that interception.
On the return, illegal block in the back. On your return, team.
Monquavius Johnson never saw him, James. Drops back, steps into the pocket and throws the ball. But Stephon McGill got off the hash, caught the ball at his highest point to secure the catch, and that's an incredible play by the senior. Coming downhill on the ball, can't get any better. That's a beautiful play. Hold that ball, though.
3 huge turnovers for Morehouse. Clark Atlanta tonight. 3 takeaways on the season, only 6. And McGill knows that he's a few minutes away from a big win. 4 with a huge run, close to a 1st down for Clark Atlanta.
Morehouse was also forced to call a timeout a little bit earlier, so they've only got 2. With 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Thaddeus Shaw on the tackle. Helmet situation, he has to leave for 1 play. With 4 minutes left to play, 2nd and 3, Coach Freeman needs a huge stop by his defense to give his offense 1 more chance. But Trent Earl and the offense for Clark Atlanta wants to try to hold on to the football.
Hold.
going to the outside, using a stiff arm and a flag thrown, and that's not what you want to do if you're Joshua Thurston, who has had an incredible game, but now he'll have a penalty on his side.
You'd want to see Antonio Ford, the junior running back, stay in bounds on that play also. He just now went out of bounds, which would have stopped the clock if it wasn't for the penalty flag. This is a time where you want to eat that clock and get down in bounds.
Let's go down to Nisha Butler, who has a little bit more. Nisha?
After the guys, the coach had to pull his team together and said that contain.
And we have a little trouble with Nisha Butler's wireless microphone. We'll try to get back to her momentarily. Kevin Weston for Clark Atlanta knows that his team is a few moments away from pulling off one of the biggest upsets in the SIAC so far this season. A team that has been winless so far this year. Losses to West Alabama, just to name a few teams that they've lost to, but they are coming in tonight into their neighbor, Morehouse, and 3 minutes and 35 seconds away from Weston's biggest win in his very young career as a head coach.
Coach Freeman said this was a good team coming in, and he told his guys that all week long. This Clark Atlanta team could not be looked over because they're playing extremely good under new leadership of Coach Weston.
Ford breaks the line of scrimmage, gets enough for another first down, and now they are wearing out the Maroon Tiger defense with 3:13 and counting, 13-yard gain. Austin Benton with a touchdown-saving tackle, and the second-string running back in Austin Ford is trying to pound this game down to a win for the Panthers. You see the rushing yards in the second half, 173 on the ground. The wing T offense, very effective for the team in black and red.
That's what Coach Weston wants to do. He wants to run the football.
And now a run for a loss. Lance White on the tackle, but we do have timeout.
Morehouse.
And Morehouse right now needs to rally the troops. Let's go down to Nisha. I think we've fixed her microphone. Nisha?
Hey, when I spoke to Coach Weston before the game, one of his things that he wanted to change is a tradition of winning. And at an interception, he had to pull his troops together and told them to focus so that they can bring this W home. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Nisha. And Coach Weston trying to change the culture. And he calls his team definitely blue collar. You see their previous 3 games, West Alabama, a loss as a Division II power. Stillman, one of the best teams in the SIAC, 27-6. Now the Fort Valley game was in a driving rainstorm, but it went to double overtime. And he says through that loss, he found that his team had some grit. They just had to learn how to win. And I think the lessons learned from that loss are starting to show tonight.
Sometimes it takes some negativity to become better, to learn, and they learn from that experience how to be a better, more competitive football team. You got to go backwards to move forward sometimes.
Coach Weston and his staff has Coach Freeman and his staff a little nervous right now with 2:46. Looking at 2nd and 12. A defensive stop here would be huge for the home crowd. And for the visitors, a touchdown would be ecstasy.
Coming into the game, field position and moving the ball wasn't a problem for Clark. They just couldn't score. Tonight, that wasn't the problem.
Give to Taylor, has some room to run, breaks the line of scrimmage, gets a little bit more, drives his way to another first down for Clark Atlanta. Montavious Taylor, definitely one of the best backs in the league, just a freshman from Atlanta, Georgia's Carver High School. Lance White on the tackle for Morehouse.
A lot of power showing, a lot of effort, refusing to go down. And now they're looking at a 3rd and 1.
Time is running out on Morehouse. Ball security is paramount. Taylor going to the outside, cuts back, able to get enough for the first down. He stretches the football out, first and goal for Clark Atlanta. Now it's not a matter of who's going to make a play, it's when will Morehouse make a big play. If they don't, Clark Atlanta will make another score, and this game will be put to bed.
First and goal, and Morehouse has 2 timeouts left.
Give to Taylor once again, gets to the line of scrimmage, and right there, the Maroon wall shows up. And now it's going to be a matter of calling timeouts to try to hold on to a little bit of the clock if they can get the ball back. Montavious Taylor tonight, 147 yards. First 3 games, grand total 187. Not bad for a true freshman playing the wingback position in the wing team. The young man from Carver High School, not that far from Clark Atlanta.
Bradley Battles going down, of course, helped him be able to get a few more carries in tonight's ball game. But when you've got a couple of running backs you can depend on to carry the football, good things can happen for your football team, and that's what's happening right now for Clark Atlanta.
If you think this game, this HBCU game, was entertaining on Bounce, make sure you come next week for the Tiger Classic, Tiger, Morehouse versus Tuskegee, one of the oldest classics in HBCU football. That'll be on October 12th, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. Then we go to right outside of Birmingham, Alabama for Kentucky State Miles. That'll be Miles homecoming on October 19th. Then we come back in November 9th, for Fort Valley State versus Albany State, always one of the biggest rivalries in the state of Georgia. And then our crowning piece, the SIAC Championship, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, November 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time start. HBCU football right here on Bounce. Football our way.
What an exciting way to start things off on the Bounce Network. You got a game to remember here.
And for Coach Kevin Weston in his first year, left Tusculum, his alma mater, to take his first head coaching job, changing the culture here with a freshman quarterback in Trent Earl, overcoming a number of penalties, fumbles, and miscues. Now they are a minute 21 away from victory. They have not had a victory formation in this game in 4 years. And now, as the clock runs out, Coach Weston trying to keep his team focused, knowing that the elation of victory is soon at hand.
This is a rivalry between these two schools, and what a way to find a way to win for Clark Atlanta.
And now, for the school that some may say is overshadowed by Morehouse and Spelman, in 39 seconds and counting, the victory formation will become the victory celebration.
They did it.
They're trying to keep the guys on the side. Kevin Weston and his team, this shows belief turns into success. Trust in the system, believe in your coaches, and success. And let's enjoy the celebration. Their first win of the season against their arch rival. Some people call it backyard, but they share everything, so it's a front yard brawl. And Weston gets a hug from his university president, Dr. Carlton Brown. He knew he hired the right man, and this solidifies it with the victory. Your final score, Clark Atlanta 21, Morehouse College 17. HBCU football on Bounce. And you have seen an incredible game in which Montavious Taylor, over 140 yards rushing, leads the way as his team gets their first win of the season in the SIAC, and their alumni and fans can celebrate on their rivals' field, knowing that they've stopped a 4-game losing streak.
Hey, Coach, this win is very good for you guys. What does this mean for your program?
It means the world. Starting this thing out, we've heard about it from day one since we got on this campus, about this being the biggest rival for our campus and their campus. It's bigger than just our campus and their campus. It's the biggest rival in Atlanta. It's one of the biggest and best rivals in college football. Our kids, actually, some of our kids go to class together. They walk past each other on a day-to-day. It's a huge rival, huge win for our program. Huge win. Way to go, Clark Atlanta University.
Coach, we have to ask, how did you do this? How did you pull this off?
I wouldn't say I did it. I'd say all those young men over there wearing shoulder pads and helmets, all those coaches, and all the support we've got from the administration, like our president, Dr. Brown. We've all done it together as one family.
Congratulations, Coach. Good one.
And this is a great victory, and you see the elation as Clark Atlanta gets the win. Our final score, 21-17. Be sure you join us for the next Saturday's broadcast, 2 p.m. Eastern, for more HBCU on Bounce. The 78th annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic from Columbus, Georgia. Coming up next on Bounce TV, Bounce Beat. So for Ryan Stewart, Nisha Butler, this is James Barrett saying goodbye from BT Harvey Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Final score, 21-17. Clark Atlanta win #1 on the season.